podcast. Read all about it. When it comes to podcasting, we are number one. All the sponsors ready, the big steps ready, the internet above the shutting up. Welcome to the Hey Arima,
Hey Digo,
hey Brooklyn,
big up Canada,
hey Caroline,
long down in Tobago.
Shady Life, UK, London, Shady Life, everybody just Shady Life. Why?
I'm breaking the place.
Random singing.
I'm breaking the place.
Take your phone on. Shady Life, stay down. Shady Life,
Debbie,
Patrina,
Shady Life, Jacksonville,
Shady Life, Todd, Kellyanne, Shady Life,
Sadie and Joanna,
Shady Life, everybody just Shady Life. Friday,
and
line, start the show.
Babla people like you know.
The new stuffed crust cheddar flavor has a stuffed crust covered in cheese, now loaded with an irresistible cheddar flavor inside and out, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza.
Bold Designs is a unisex accessory line. They specialize in custom designs for the people who like to stand out. As their slogan says, different is memorable. You can shop online at Bold Designs on Facebook or IG, or you can visit their physical store at 30 Cane Farm Road, Twin City. Physical and electronic gift certificates are available.
Focus Arts Promotions presents the explosive new comedy stage play by Alan Charles, Why Didn't I Get Married? It's not good for a man to be alone, but what about the black woman? Is the church guilty of keeping black women single? What is the church doing to attract more men? Is man shortage the sole reason women are not married? Coming to Central Bank Auditorium, Saturday 17th May, 7 p.m. and Sunday 18th May, 6 p.m. Tickets $225 in advance or $250 at the door. Get your online tickets at theticketsellers.co.uk or visit A&A Pharmacy Port of Spain, Maranatha Bookshop San Fernando, or Living Legacy Pharmacy in Arima. For more info, call 341-2512. Why Didn't I Get Married is a no-holds-barred stage drama that's not for the easily offended.
Bespoke Productions TT and Clinical Media Group presents Aurora.
Aurora is like a dream come true. I was sitting here wondering when I could connect like this with you guys again. Aurora is a new day for you, a new day for us, and a brand new day for me. Don't give up on me. Last time we was down in South and we had a ball. San Fernando Oliorel show up, but now all they say we need to come in town. Well, we in town. Forward a line, don't cross the line. Forward a line, don't cross the line. I'm giving all a little bit of everything. Some reggae, some soca, some soul. It's your girl Nisa. Make sure, get your tickets, come on down, meet me and some of my friends.
Aurora. Nisa in concert with live band. May 24th, 2025 at Central Bank Auditorium, Port of Spain. Doors open 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. Tickets $250. Special guest artists Sapphire, Shanzi, GSG, Rhonda Joseph, Rolly R, Tinique Beckles, Darren Sandy, Blessed Messenger, Terry Lyons, and JD. Aurora's DJ JL. Tickets available at all Little Caesars outlets, King's Lounge Barbershop, O'Mara Plaza Arima, and Movie Town, Port of Spain. Europe Enterprises, Point Fortin.
You could push me, I could say.
Aurora.
Friday.
Watch it, boy. Yeah, I don't watch it. You had to watch it. Let me sing alone.
All right, go through.
Let me sing alone. And line,
And
line,
and
line,
and
line,
and
line,
and
line,
and
line.
and
Hear me now.
Friday,
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 Friday.
Turn it up, hit it up, hit it up. Line,
And
line,
and
line,
and
line.
and
Down in the comment section, do way, oh. Way, Friday in the place. Random singing, way, oh. Friday in the, well, take your phone, take your phone, take your phone.
Share the light.
Dreamer,
Share the light.
Sando,
Share the light.
Brooklyn,
Share the light.
New York,
Share the light.
London,
Share the light.
UK, London, share the light. Everybody just do love music.
Friday,
Bang,
Friday,
bang,
Friday,
bang.
Friday.
Who down there?
Papa, yo.
Well, let me see if Ocean down in the live. Right about now, I see a big up on time. All the mothers, me say big up on yourself. Yeah, you know this year you're going to be well done. Throw your waist, take a play.
Who mother trend the waist?
Well, you see, let us demonize. I find as African people, we just demonize everything, boy. You know, if you were still in the motherland, you'd do the dance and you'd shake your waist.
I don't have a problem
But from
with-
the time you get,
I don't have a problem with
the
shaking.
time you get cultured, you understand? We can't shake with waist.
No,
we
I
can't
don't shake. You know I
Nothing,
don't shake.
nothing else can tell we. How you think about that? I saw.
Well, I don't shake, you know, so I good. It's the ones who
Let me,
shake.
let me see.
But I wouldn't shake now, you know. They ain't ready for that. That is the bedroom things.
Well,
Focus.
I mean, hold down in a day like easy. YouTube in the building. Ocean falling, easy going. Easy, hey, dad.
Hey, Dan.
Mason coming alive right now. And everybody big up. Oh, I right about now to big up everybody. One will go. All right. I know no freestyle skills tonight. Make me drop a bomb on it. Happy Mother's Day, first of all, to all mothers that are in the live.
Yes, I.
You know, blessings to you. Happy Mother's Day. What would we be without the mothers? So we say thank God for you. We say that, you know, that you will be prosperous and every good thing is coming to you in Jesus' name. Make me drop a bomb for the mothers sometime. You know?
I sang a short
Easy,
song.
mommy.
Hey, Cassius is in the live. I sang a short. I didn't even
Easy,
plan.
Cassius.
Yeah, you're talking through me again.
My
babe.
apologies.
I didn't even plan to do a short thing for the mothers today. Thank you for all the Mother's Day greetings, even the people saying to all mothers. I feel like Mother's Day is a bittersweet thing for so many people. I know a lot of people who lost mothers
Right.
as well. If you're in that category tonight, and you know today is it's a toughie for you, we stand with you. God's comfort to you, to those of us who have our mothers, and the relationships are good. Bless God for that. To those of us who have our mothers and the relationships are strained, always remember that you know God still gave you your parents, and you should still honor and love them if it's possible. So blessings again to all mothers in whatever category they
Shout
fall.
out to the moms. Happy Mother's Day to you, Nisa.
Thank you, sir.
You know, just now you might be a grandma.
Hope not, Jaden. Relax your whole self, eh?
I not ready for.
Me and babysitter, I'm not
But here we
cut
go.
out for them things.
I'm not gonna subscribe to that. Like whenever that happens, if it happens,
Like on my side.
on my side, I'm not gonna say Skylar had no baby. I hide in that as long as possible.
Why
Because
would
if she
you?
has a baby, then mean I is a grandfather,
Right.
and I'm not ready for
You ain't going through that.
that. I'm not going through it.
I'll be a hot grandma.
I'm not going through it.
I'll be a hot grandma, but I don't particularly like the babysitting things. I can't.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So
I just find it too soon for me. I don't know.
we now start to live in.
Yeah, how is
Yeah,
grandparents?
40 is your new 20. Get together. I ain't ready
I
yet.
don't get it. Like granny, you know, your grandparents used to be like in your 60s or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, a little bend back.
Yeah.
Right, my back straight, Jaden, relax.
Yeah, man back straight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, let me start the show. Welcome inside another edition of JD's Vlog. What's up? My name is JD.
My name is Nisa.
And this is the Fry Bake and Lang Show. Every single Saturday.
Sunday.
Hey, it's today Sunday, boy. Wait.
I know
every
he was
single-
going to do that. Should have bet some money. I
Damn
know he
it.
was going to mess that up.
Every Saturday, but today is a special because yesterday Nisa had to sing in heels and bags.
Heels and handbags.
Heels and handbags
Yeah.
with Sean Winchester and
Blessed Messenger.
Blessed
Who else? There was a saxophonist.
saxophonist, DJ.
There are a few
gosh,
DJs. We can't
forgive me,
remember.
Elon, you know. So shout out to Joel and the whole team for having us over there. So we had to move it a little bit. But also, we did not want to miss the opportunity to have our special guest this evening, who
Yes.
we're going to go across there in a little bit. But we have to get to the commitments. Guys, I know it's Sunday. I know mothers are out, people are doing the thing, you know. So as much as possible, those who are watching, we ask you, you know, admission is only 1 like and 1 share. And if you're so kind, you can just fall through and say goodnight. Shout out to YouTube as well. And shout out to everybody on Facebook. All right, so let's get into our commitments because we cannot have this without our commitments. Of course, we want to say Little Caesars, always definitely the best pizza, most affordable, high quality pizza. Right now, they have the stuffed crust cheddar flavor pizza. It's hot and ready, meaning that you just walk inside and you just walk out. Basically, you walk in, hey, let me get this. You have $105, bam, you walk back out. There's no waiting. That's what hot and ready means. So you need to go and check it out. This is ridiculous. They have cheese in the crust. This is in it here. And then they have cheese drizzle on top of the crust.
Say drizzle again. I thought
Drizzle, cheddar cheese, drizzle, and then cheddar cheese inside and cheddar and cheese on top. Listen, yeah, this is a ridiculous pizza right here. As you saw in the first opening, Bold Designs. Thank you so much to Maria and the Bold Designs. Ladies, this is you right here. For all you fashionable women who like to run out, you know, you're looking for a man. And you say, watch me.
Relax.
These earrings go catch your man.
I keep telling you, especially in this day and age, women, we do things for ourselves. All right? If I
That
dress
long time,
up,
Janisa?
No, sir.
That
when
is
I
long
dress, when I dress.
Well, you're married.
No.
When
Even-
women dress to go, they're going on, they're looking for eyes.
No, JD. Use these moments as learnable or teachable moments. You have to feel good about yourself. So whether you're trying to catch bait or you just are the bait, you have to feel good about yourself. So the earrings will just add to that. If a man like me because he like my earring, I had to watch out. Just saying.
For those of you women who want to looking for a man and you say, hey, you see these earrings here? That is it. I'm going to swing back here. This is extremely designer earrings
Hey, Siobhan.
made by specialist Maria. This one is like a kind of what, a steel pan kind of
It
vibes?
looks like a steel pan.
Yeah, this look like a kind of, you're going out to a little tea party, you have your little flowing dress, you know, you're drinking your hand, and you have your little cocktail. This is what it is here. This. Oh, well, this one's self. This one is saying, come and ask me for my phone number.
Oh, boy.
Oh, well, this one here, this one is when you're just trying to play fancy. You know, you put it on, and the man watch your face, and he say, that's a work of art. That earring's looking like an earring. She must be her money. That's what I want to say here. Oh, well, this one here is when, you know, you just went for a little lunch and you don't really know nobody on yourself, like Nisa say. You know, you're just out there to enjoy your own self, all right? Oh, well, this one is simple. Yeah, you go a little on the green something, a little jazz event. You know, you have on a brown dress and a white slippers. You pour on this, and with a fan in your hand, you're fanning yourself. And when you watch her across your way, so you see, she looking like a nice, intelligent vibe to have a little cup of coffee with, boy, there's it here. That is what that is. So shout out to Bold Designs, of course, for sponsoring this first hour. And as we move, massive, listen, man. If you ain't get your tickets right now, oh, God, oh, yeah.
You would think it's his show, right?
Oh yeah. If only girl it tickets. Boy, I tell you, Nisa is in full concert. Talking about Aurora, it is the 24th of May.
May 24th, 6
May the 24th.
p.m. Central Bank. I only now start to feel a little excited. If you follow us on social media, you would have seen that I went to do my little fitting, my dress fitting. One of the dresses, we almost there. And when I put on the dress, I started to sing the song I was supposed to sing, you know. That is why looking good is important. It kind of, it matches the passion and purpose. So I'm now starting to feel it.
Yes, so Nisa is going to be in concert, live band, and tickets are available at all Little Caesars outlets. Let me let you know, because people only feel Little Caesars is just one place or what? No. Arpita Avenue, so that is if you're in Port of Spain.
Aria.
Arpita.
Okay. You all know it's Aria Pizza, right?
No one
Aria.
says that.
Well,
No one says that. You say Aria? Right, Arpita Avenue. Yeah.
okay.
Right?
So no teachable moments? Okay.
No, we don't.
All right.
So get your tickets at Arpita Avenue, Little Caesars, Arima, Tompuna Road. So that is east and that is town. Bam, C3, south, you're covered. Look it right there. C3, Little Caesars, Eastgate. Eastgate, you're safe. Go and get it. Gulf City, back south again. M6, that should go on us. What you saying, what you telling yourself, Antagrigua back in the east again, it's covered. Little Caesars nationwide, and of course, King's Lounge Barber Spa, Port of Spain Movie Town, and King's Lounge Barber Spa, Omera Plaza, Arima, and Point Fortin, because Nisa is from Point Fortin. We must have tickets in Point Fortin, and that's at the Robe Enterprise upstairs. Subway. So get your tickets now for Nisa in concert. And this is where we're heading right before Nisa, because you see this here is Bacchanal. This is Bacchanal. We have the founder, writer, producer of this event. He's going to tell us all about this, but it's called Why Didn't I Get Married? I want to hear the whole scene behind this. I want to hear everything. And I'm sure you want to hear it as well. And it is an explosive new play done by Alan Charles. Of course, he's with us this evening. Make me drop a bomb for Alan Charles. And it's a midlife crisis. It's from midlife crisis and love, sex, and all that jazz. So this is the new one. I don't want to talk about it too much because he's here to give us all the information. Alan Charles is with us. He's in the building. Gonna go to him in a second. So this is what we're doing. Right after Nisa,
we're going
Praise on Water
2K25.
25. If you've never been to a gospel boat ride before, you're mad. You need to come and check this out. All right, so this is a boat ride that normally happens in New York. And they say, hey, hold my drink. This is the 7th edition. They want to have it in Trinidad and Tobago. So they're going on the Harbour Master, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be there. Nisa is going to be there.
Nigella is going to be there.
Nigella is going to be there. Jazzy, Jaron, Michelle Sylvester,
Blessed Messenger, Sean Daniel, Nicole Balasing, Holder.
Of course, go get your tickets right now. They have a group rate at $150, and after May the 21st, it's $250. So do not stick with that. All right? We want to say thank you. Thank you so much for those of you all who are avid givers to this podcast. You know, we cannot do it without you.
I like the word avid because there are people who do, we came from a mighty long way. All my life I had to fight.
All my life I had to fight.
Now, but we come from a long way, from the phone to this, to where we are now, and a lot has been possible with persons who so into the ministry, if that word makes you feel better.
Yeah, because these things cost, all right? So this Republic Bank account came up because all this stuff in Main Street and St. JD, all the time you're only advertising for PayPal and Cash App, how we could give in Trinidad. We love all you. So I said, okay, I did it. This is the account, screenshot, or come back and look at it. That is for local Trinidad and Tobago. This right here is for PayPal. This is outside of the United States of America. So all Canada, UK, everywhere is PayPal ready. We have our PayPal as well. And this is for the United States. All right, the US, Cash App, $sign. So you could pull out your phone right now. And I love to hear the Cash App ping and all these pings. And I say, hey, bless God. Thank you, Father. All right, we're getting ready to go in. Thank you for going through all our ads. What I love about our audience is that all they understand.
They understand the thing. You have to get the business out of the way before we can get the show on the road.
All right, cool. So,
All right.
do we have a, well, now, I'm not going to see if we have a hard bio, yes?
Well, we have a hard bio.
Yeah, let me give my hard bio. Okay,
ahead.
so this guest is a friend of mine. He feels like a brother. He is the first, at that time, promoter, because he's still a promoter writer, I
Yeah.
guess. Took me on my first UK tour, not once, but twice.
Oh.
Make me travel the world.
I mean, he will like it because you real miserable. Twice.
Twice, you know, twice. Always there to encourage. And in turn, he has brought to Trinidad and Tobago, not only here, the Caribbean, I believe St. Vincent, and other parts in the Caribbean, we're going to find out his not only hilarious plays, all right, but very educational and needed, not only, again, in the body of Christ, but throughout, I think.
The human conversation.
The
I
human
think he has
conversation.
conversations that are necessary. But of course, this is your hard bio, but I just know you're struggling a little
Nah,
bit there.
I ain't struggling
Try to
nothing.
pull
I
your
ain't
back
struggling
from it,
nothing.
just pull your
Right,
back.
let me give you a joke now. Bam. Well, I never knew he was an Adventist because at that time,
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what Adventist was.
Right.
So this is the first time I pull up in a London. He said, JD, you want to go get her to make some groceries? I said, yeah, man. So we went to get some groceries.
The accent.
Well, you know me.
You're hungry.
I go out for my eggs, and I go out for my bacon, and my sausage. Now, at that time, I didn't even know that difference between pork sausage and chicken sausage.
Wow.
I just know sausage is sausage, and I pick up my bacon. I get my bread, I get my juice, and whatever, thing, and I'm going back. Next morning, I go on to scramble my egg, because I stayed by him, right? I say, I look at him, I said, but I said, but like, I forget my bacon and thing in the grocery. So I say, Alan, I wake him up, I say, Alan, I'm not going to we could go back now by the grocery because like I forget my bacon by the grocery. You feel you give me back? This man say, JD, I throw it away.
Oh, Lord, I choke.
I say, what do you mean? He say, yeah, I throw it away. We don't eat pork in this house, brother. I say, how you mean? I don't understand. Anyway.
You send a little note, sir?
No, you just say, no, we Adventists. I said, what does that mean? You throw it? You dash away my pork, my thing. You understand?
Dash way.
Yeah, man. Anyway.
He said that's not how he remembered it. Just see how stories go.
I wonder why I'm not hearing him. Hold on.
Because the mics are off.
Let me go and take it out. That's not how I remember. Your mic, go ahead.
Testing. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
I'm on.
She's on. So the gentleman in the corner said, that's not how I remember it. Quite, synonymous with how men
That
tell
is
stories.
that's exactly how it happened. And I say, so how you mean you throw away my thing? He said, yeah, you don't eat pork wrong here, bro. I say, wait. And then he explained to me he's Adventist. And that's my first encounter with Adventist. Throw away my thing. That is the first. Anyway, you have a hard bio, Nisa?
You done that?
Yeah, I done with my hard bio.
Well, I can't remember my first time right now meeting or coming across him, but I do know his name from the media. I got an opportunity to do one of his plays, and he was always very respectful. I would see him here and there, and he was always respectful. It didn't matter what his religious denomination was to me. He just showed me kindness, and as I would often say, kindness is one of my kryptonites, right? So he was always kind. Then I got an opportunity to be a part of one of his stage plays.
Oh, yeah, and we acted in this play
I
last
was
year,
so
too.
scared. I was not afraid at all.
We
I was
act.
scared, but I was like, Janisa, this is, I wanted to expand my resume. So I did it. I got through it. And, so he taught me that I could do it. And again, his kindness remains. I love his zeal and passion to do things in the creative world because, some people always make you feel if you are not Tyler Perry, like if you didn't make it, if the whole world doesn't know your name, some people try to make you feel like you've not done anything in the earth. And I think people like him who continue to do what they know they were called to do in the spots that they were given, they actually do make great impact. This man that we're speaking about, he's here not alone.
Not alone.
Not alone.
He's going to give his hard bio.
He'll give his hard bio and introduce his guest with him. Let's give a round of applause. A fry bake. You don't break your foot there, no? A fry bake. Welcome to Mr.
Alan Charles. He's here. Whoa. He's in the building. He is here.
He's here.
Multi-millionaire. Multi-millionaire international playwright.
I wish.
Alan Charles. Alan, who you are, thank you so much. But, send us across to our guest, our friend, but you introduce her.
This is Karen with a K Richards,
Mm-hmm.
one of the foremost actresses.
Yeah.
Karen with a K. Are there Karens with a C?
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Oh.
One of the finest actresses in Trinidad and Tobago.
I'm
and she's
agreeing.
been with me since I've been in Trinidad from 2012.
She was from the first one?
Yes, from the first Trinidad.
Or from the first Trinicast?
She's also been acting with us with the UK cast as well when we go around the Caribbean as well.
Okay, nice. So welcome, Karen.
Thank you.
Of course, we know, Nisa and I ourselves, but we wanted to give Alan the intros. All right? Alan, welcome back to Trinidad.
Thanks for
buddy.
having me. It's good to be here. And I don't remember that story that way, but it makes for good viewing.
What you
So
remember?
I'm gonna,
Good view in my foot. You didn't show my thing?
No, I think we had a conversation in the group. I said to you, well, I'm SDA, so you're free.
I did not remember
to
that.
do whatever you want, but we don't dabble with the.
So how I buy it?
Maybe you didn't remember because you didn't know chicken and pork. They were different ones. So you thought it was chicken, but it wasn't.
Brother, I buy my bacon and it's gone. I got in dustbin looking for it, But that's a lifetime as are we. Alan is with us. Alan, for those who are watching, like we do on radio, tell us a little bit about yourself. Not in a nutshell. Tell us who is Alan Charles.
Sinner saved by grace. Simple. All these bios, you can try and big up your chest but I'm just a sinner saved by grace, 50-something-year-old, UK-born, Vincy raised, child of the King, called to be a writer in these times.
You remember your first experience of writing anything? Or writing a play? What was your first experience of writing that you know what? This is what I want to do.
Okay, so in England, we have our GCSE. I don't know, you guys,
CXC. Yeah, we are the GC thing.
So for my English exam, you could do an essay, you could do a comprehension, you could do a poem. And I wrote a poem, and I got an A.
Okay.
Boom. God is good.
So you can choose.
So-
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, so from then I realized that, hey, there's something here. If the educational system can give me a certificate for that, then yeah.
Right.
So that's when I realized that I could write. Growing up in the Caribbean, we are great storytellers. So, wherever you go in the Caribbean, good storytellers, whether it's church, telling stories around the campfire, Bible stories. So that's all in me already as a storyteller. And so the spoken word came first. I was probably one of the first in the UK to do reggae poetry. But being an Adventist, the brethrens back then didn't
Was
really
that
check.
hard? Because
Well, they didn't check for the Caribbean flavor.
right.
So I had to suppress that and just develop the spoken word. But even within the spoken word, you can still hear the rhythm, And then when I would go to other churches who appreciated the Caribbean culture, I was able to intermingle the rhythm of the Caribbean.
So the SDA church didn't accept you?
No, they accept me because I wouldn't do it in the church.
Right.
I would just do the spoken word. But where other people appreciated it, then I would share.
How that made you feel?
Well, I become all things to all men that I may win some. I'm wise.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
like that.
I'm not gonna go into your house and dishonor your house.
Same-
You don't
same
want
thing
it.
I keep telling
Yeah.
you. That's what's up.
Yeah, you don't want it. The word is powerful, with or without the music.
Yeah.
The music gives it a little bit more, you know what I mean? But the word is powerful. So
Yeah.
I can deliver it with the word, and deliver it with the music.
Understood.
You know.
I don't want to, before we go a little bit further. Karen,
Yo.
tell us now, put your mic a little bit up.
Sure.
Sorry, forgive me for my stand, it broke.
Your friend Marissa Davis says, well, good night.
Oh, good night, Marissa.
Marissa Davis. Karen and you, tell us a little bit about yourself now.
Well, a little bit about me. everyone say that where did you go to learn acting? I did mine's firstly with a theater group, Strolling Players.
Hey, my mom was in Strolling Players.
Really?
Trolling players.
And I was one of the fifth Beulah because we were doing some of our stage plays from Calabash Alleys and all those different shows. And when I made my landmark in acting, I played a crazy woman. It was Inside Out, The Madhouse by Asa Daniel. And from then on, well, I started to establish myself on the stage, just like Beulah. When I appear on the stage, the audience will applaud. They will like, make noise. I like this lady. I like this lady. And then I bump into Focus Arts, which is with Alan Charles. And I've been with him in the church, theater, acting. That's all part of me. Yep.
You
Awesome.
really are good, very engaging. My favorite character, no cap. The play we did. Gigi
Yes,
and I
yes,
did.
yes.
What is her name?
Mildred.
Bacchanal
Mildred.
Mildred.
Hands down for me. Hands down.
Yeah.
As an actress, how do you get into character? Is it that there's part of you, or how do you, what's the process?
I just study people.
Oh, you don't like the
I
people in
study.
Hollywood? Because
Yeah,
you know when
I
they say, you know when they say they study people, they say you in the Illuminati.
Not
Are
like
you
that.
in the
No,
Illuminati?
I just observe people, how they move, how they embrace, how they hug, how they
Yeah.
bend, how they talk, and I just embrace it. So if I have to take up that character, that is what I would embody. I saw somebody did this, and I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Have you ever had to do a love scene, like kissing another actor?
No, but I wish I had the opportunity with someone.
What?
Trinidadians
I
don't do
mean,
that.
it's acting, it's acting.
Caribbean people don't do that, like love scenes and kiss and
Yeah,
drag
they
up
used
tongue
to
and
do the
thing.
one where you're putting your hand by the face and you're doing this. No, I want the real deal. But unfortunately, I never really can.
I like any of your plays ever had that kind of intimacy?
No.
But why not? I mean, that's part of.
So, would you appreciate Nisa kissing another guy on stage?
If she's an actress,
Yeah.
and if she's an actress and that's the part she has to play, and I met her as an actress.
Yeah, I can't be an actress. That type of actress, no. And
that's-
JD is not.
You're being honest.
No cap to
No,
Hollywood, but I can't do it.
If I met the woman as an actress, and then she has a scene
Tell them.
where she has to perform,
Just
Right?
to kiss another man and then come home to you later and
Well-
kiss you.
That's
so
acting,
you
Alan.
wouldn't like, yes, you would. So
Except
you don't
it's
believe in
not, because
so
so
you don't
many,
believe in your thing
so
then?
much co-workers, they get together afterwards. If it's
Exactly.
just acting, why are we copulating after the
It's
show?
not acting, mate.
It's not.
more to it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. So
I
big
can
up
do it. I can do
Hollywood.
it.
Forget Christianity. Just on a whole, as a man,
Right.
it's not for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not for me.
Siobhan says, no, not me, no, sir. So you just threw me out there because I asked you. We ain't had no rules
no.
in this relationship,
No,
nothing.
all I'm saying is,
If he met
if
you
that
there.
was your profession, obviously because we in church, and that is not heard of. But if we were outside of the walls of church, if that was your profession and I met you as an actress,
Correct.
how come me jumps up now to say, hey, I can't be
You
kissing
can't,
no man
yeah.
because that's your part, you know? You understand?
Because there are certain rules and regulation that happens within relationships.
So that means you're not going and get involved with an actress if you was outside of the church.
Not an actress that's going to be kissing other men. No.
Yeah, there are people
so
in
my que-
Hollywood. There are people in Hollywood that are in relationships that have their boundaries, JD. It's not unheard of.
It's not for me.
It's not unheard of.
So outside of church, you would not
No.
be
He-
dealing.
It's not for me.
You wouldn't
answered
deal with
you.
an actress.
It's not for me. It's not for me. Not an actress who's going to have love scenes
Yeah.
with other men or women.
Yeah. I don't know, JD. Just think when he asked you the question 3 times, you'll change your mind.
No, there was a scene I almost kissed someone.
Oh,
yeah?
Lord.
When I was like
In Alan
Louise,
play?
when I was playing Louise, and we almost like, and then we just bumped back. That was a almost something, but I make it look
Well,
real. I
guys,
like
in
ready
that-
to
that-
dive in.
Well,
and-
yeah, that's a you problem. That's not casted. That's not an Alan problem. That is a you issue. Just saying.
Yo, it's already almost time for the break. You know, it's almost time for the break. All right, so here what we're gonna do. Here what we're gonna do this evening, right? We do have 2 emails backed up. That is that for topic, but I don't think, based on the nature of this podcast this evening and what Alan brings to the table, because his play, we're going to talk about his play.
Correct.
And his play is already a topic in itself, right? I want to know why he come up with it, how we come up with it. I heard some little, little thing on the ground. I'm going to ask him about that and so on, all right? So, but he just told us about himself and how he started up, becoming into writing. He did his poetry. And I want to ask him now, your first play. What was your first play, Alan Charles?
It was called I'm Getting There.
I thought it was Love. Why did I think it was Love Saxon
Love
Jazz?
Saxon Jazz.
I'm Getting There was done in 1998.
Oh, Lord.
That was the first time I did a full-length play in the UK. It was very successful. But as you know, unlike concerts, there's a lot that you need for a play. And so we put it down for a while, and then I didn't start back again until 10 years later with Love Sax All That Jazz.
10 years. What caused that? 10 years is a little...
It was just the market wasn't there at the time for plays. So in like 2009, I guess with the whole Tyler Perry thing as well.
So you started before Tyler, you would say?
Yeah.
You started before Tyler Perry?
Yeah, but obviously Tyler has a different
platform.
People always talk about Tyler is a giant, you know what I mean? So let's not even mention Tyler. But yeah, I was doing plays before that, but obviously I'm a little pebble compared to.
Why you just always say that, man?
Like a pebble. You know?
Why does always say that? What you think? All right, if you want to go there, what do you think is, because I think your work is excellent.
Me too.
I think your work is excellent, but what do you think is needed or missing to take you
to the next level?
To that level?
I guess obviously the right marketing, the right connection, and I think that you see, for me, I think stuff is simple. I think in the body of Christ, we have everything that's needed for any artistic person to live in abundance.
Right.
Right? So, for example, Nisi is doing a concert, Central Bank, 24th. The venue holds what? 425.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should be sold out like that.
Right.
Yeah?
I think so.
With the SDA connection, the Standard Churches connection, it shouldn't even need any
promotion.
Work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? But we don't have that love and support that's needed. Because I think that in the body of Christ, we're like crabs in a barrel.
Oh my God.
We don't like to see anyone soar.
Right.
But who's the we though? Because like who is the we? Because
I guess it's the people.
I like to see my my friends
there
do well.
isn't enough. You know, obviously there's always exception to the rule, but there isn't enough. So for example, I've got plays that I've been doing for the longest. So I'll go to a church and I'll say, listen, you have a venue, you have the lighting, you have the sound, you have everything. Let me bring my play to your church. Big churches, you know what, when them guys raise their offering, it's enough to cover everything.
Right.
Right? They will turn around and tell me, well, I mean, we've got our own people who can do that. But you know that I've got a play that is world class. Mm-hmm. You know, my plays are world class. But because you don't want to invest in me and my ministry, you refuse. But if we was to like get that support, we will grow, and the industry will grow. Mm-hmm. You know, plays is the theater is a creative way to spread the gospel. It's a creative way to get non-believers to come to activities, but we tend to just downplay it.
You ever feel time? Well, we have a question from Siobhan on the screen. He asks, "What is in the mind of a writer?" And do you ever feel like, let me go and do some secular play here, boy, and run out the road?
See, again, we try to make a distinction between secular and sacred, right?
Always.
Look at the life of David. Was that secular or was that sacred?
Both.
Right. So David's life could be classed as secular. The man was a murderer. He was an adulterer. I'm saying, so I use everyday life stories and experiences that we face in the church. So the place that I do is asking the hard question that sometimes in the church we don't want to talk about. So sometimes Christians come to my play and define it as secular because I'm dealing with sex,
Oh my God.
adultery, and all those kind of stuff. But those are stuff that we live with as...
Well, then we are
So-
in the same bracket because they deem us as secular.
Yeah, indeed, indeed.
Because we deal with human
and
issues
we're
as
asking the
people
question
in the church
that
that
the church is afraid to.
Yeah.
Stuff that we don't want to talk about. I grew up in the church.
Right.
If you cut me, it would say SDA. I grew up SDA, born SDA, right? But I know the struggles that I went through and other people have gone through. And so the plays are talking about subjects that we didn't get a chance to talk about growing up. When I was growing up, they would give you a book. Everything a teenage boy should know on becoming a man.
Yeah.
But parents didn't talk to you about these things.
Correct.
So you grew up and you made your mistakes, and then they want to
then they want to
make
bring the rule book.
you understand? So the plays now is to give us an opportunity to talk about some of these issues. So this one here, why didn't I get married? It's fire. I know last time you guys thought that midlife crisis was fire, but this one,
Fire.
yeah, this one is
Characters.
it's
Siobhan wanted to know what's in the mind of a writer. Also want to say, hey Sadie, good evening, Sadie's in a building. Make me drop a bomb. What is in the mind of a writer?
well for me. I just reflect what's happening in society. Really, what I write isn't anything that's unheard of.
Correct.
You know, what I mean, I'm just a reflection. I'm a social commentator. So we have the conversations in the barbershop and in the hairdressers and on Facebook.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing now, I'm not taking that and I'm putting it on the stage.
Right.
Yeah, and tackling the topics that we're talking about behind closed doors and bringing it to the fore. Because I'm in the church. I'm a church boy, born and grow. But I want us to be more honest. I want the church to be more honest.
But the
about-
church,
Well, I mean, we can't be
Do you
that honest, you
understand?
know,
Yeah, do
because,
you understand that
remember last
honesty?
night, Blessed, and we were talking about that last night with Blessed.
honesty comes with a backlash that you have to be willing to
Yeah.
literally take.
and I will take that backlash. So I know that at times there is a pushback
Yeah.
at the stuff that I do. But that's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to...
You're still going to do it.
You know, pastors, they preach and they preach the word in season and out of season. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm just using drama, and maybe it's a bit more raw because you're actually seeing it. You can speak it, that's one thing, but when you actually see it on stage, it hits differently.
Yeah, it does.
You understand? And that's what I think people can't deal with. They're seeing themselves on stage. They're seeing, oh my gosh, yeah, I can relate to it. You're seeing it with your eyes. You're hearing and seeing. And that's what makes it so powerful. And that's what the church is afraid of, because we're almost exposing what's happening
behind.
Because remember as well, we have to be honest. The church is a hospital for sick people.
That's what it should be, but that's not what it is.
Yeah, where we come to be saved, where we come to be clean up.
Yeah.
But sometimes we give the impression that we're in heaven already. So when the man comes in who's struggling, he can't relate. You know, but we're supposed to be there to help each other. Come as you are. We're all on this journey together, and we're going to grow together, and we're going to make it together. But we have to be honest and start talking honestly, and that's why the guys outside are not really, because they see us as fake.
Oh,
You know?
boy.
Because when they come in, they see stuff that's happening in here, and they think, no, because we give the impression that now when you come there,
right.
everything is perfect.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you something before we go to the break, because we're supposed to do a quarter past. Let me tell you we're missing in a play, a little sex scene.
Nah,
A little drag up
I'll
talk.
leave that for Tyler.
a little drag up talk, boy.
Relax yourself now.
People go want to come and see who kissing who, you understand? That kind of thing. Hey, we'll be back right after this, guys. Alan Charles is lineman with us. Why didn't I get married?
Why didn't?
Why didn't I get married? You married, Karen?
No.
Why you said like that though? I have a
Put
problem.
your mic, bring it up here.
Why you said
No.
it like that though?
I'm not married because of choice, and God saved me.
So you just don't want no man?
He saved me.
don't want no man?
Listen, I want a man, But is God saved me from those who came before.
Okay, I got
So
you.
I'm just on the waiting period.
Yeah,
I
we'll
ain't
come
done with
back.
you
We'll
yet.
come back after.
Come
because-
back.
I'm done with you yet when we come back. We'll be back after
The
this.
new stuffed crust cheddar flavor has a stuffed crust covered in cheese, now loaded with an irresistible cheddar flavor inside and out. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Bold Designs is a unisex accessory line. They specialize in custom designs for the people who like to stand out. As their slogan says, different is memorable. You can shop online at Bold Designs on Facebook or IG, or you can visit their physical store at 30 Cane Farm Road, Trin City. Physical and electronic gift certificates are available.
Focus Arts Promotions presents the explosive new comedy stage play by Alan Charles. Why Didn't I Get Married? It's not good for a man to be alone, but what about the black woman? Is the church guilty of keeping black women single? What is the church doing to attract more men? Is man shortage the sole reason women are not married? Coming to Central Bank Auditorium, Saturday 17th May, 7 p.m. and Sunday 18th May, 6 p.m. Tickets $225 in advance or $250 at the door. Get your online tickets at theticketsellers.co.uk or visit A&A Pharmacy Port of Spain, Maranatha Bookshop San Fernando, or Living Legacy Pharmacy in Arima. For more info, call 341-2512. Why Didn't I Get Married is a no-holds-barred stage drama that's not for the easily offended.
Bespoke Productions TT and Clinical Media Group presents Aurora.
Aurora is like a dream come true. I was sitting here wondering when I could connect like this with you guys again. Aurora is a new day for you, a new day for us, and a brand new day for me. Don't give up on me. Last time we was down in South and we had a ball. San Fernando Wally Rel show up, but now Wally say we need to come in town. Well, we in town. Don't cross the line. Don't cross the line. I'm giving all you a little bit of everything. Some reggae, some soca, some soul. It's your girl Nisa. Make sure, get your tickets, come on down, meet me and some of my friends.
Aurora. Nisa in concert with live band. May 24th, 2025 at Central Bank Auditorium, Port of Spain. Doors open 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. Tickets $250. Special guest artists Sapphire, Shanzi, GSG, Rhonda Joseph, Rolly R, Tinique Beckles, Darren Sandy, Blessed Messenger, Terry Lyons, and JD. Aurora's DJ JL. Tickets available at all Little Caesars outlets, King's Lounge Barbershop, O'Mara Plaza, Arima, and Movie Town, Port of Spain. Europe Enterprises, Point Fortin.
You could push me out, I could say
Aurora.
Share the live. Share the live. You're watching Fry Bacon Live, the #1 podcast in Trinidad.
We are back, my friends.
Share the live.
Lisa gonna check something there. Hold on. We good? All right, cool. Hey, listen. Thank you, Ocean. We have 11. Oh, that's what it was. Cool. Sorry. Yeah, we have 11 shares right now, guys. We could thank you so much for 11 shares. We could do a whole lot better than that.
Sadie was saying it's Fried Bacon Lime anniversary.
Yeah, I can't. Is it?
Is it? We should know this.
So how much years it is? That means it's 5 years? Nah.
It can't be 5
It can't be 5 years. Or they do that.
When did you start?
Huh?
When did you start?
We started in the pandemic, early pandemic.
All right, so that's 2000.
2000?
2020, 2020, 2019.
2020.
Right, it's 2025 now.
Oh, this is 2021. Nah.
No, it was when I was working in the ministry. So
it's early pandemic.
2020.
It's really May, you know.
It is me.
I think it's May.
I think it's me.
So that's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 5 years?
Never.
Nah, boy.
Never.
Yo,
Sadie,
chat, tell me.
never. We know start this thing. That's how it feels.
Yes, Sadie says 5 years.
Sadie, never.
But if we didn't know, we would have pop a little champagne or something, boy. You understand?
Time flies when you're having fun.
What
Yeah,
is
I
this,
have
boy?
fun with my friend. He's my friend.
Yeah, that's my dog, you know. It's because that's say wife dog. That's my wife dog. All right, guys, if you're not joining us, Alan Charles is with us.
And Karen.
And Karen. This is Karen right here.
Karen, how you
Actress.
prefer to be known? Karen or Karen Richard?
Anyone. Karen with a K.
Oh, Karen with a K.
Karen with a K. All right. And of course, Alan from the UK. Born and raised UK, but he'd like to claim Vincy.
Yeah, I spent my junior years, primary years in St. Vincent. My parents are from St. Vincent.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, after you spend 20 years somewhere else, it's not really that. You know? But I saw somebody on YouTube saying big up Alan Vincy in the house. So shout out to yes, boy, they're saying it's 5 years, yes?
Wow.
Alan.
Happy anniversary.
First hour almost gone already. Talk to us. So this play, Why Didn't I Get Married? The title alone. Talk to us. What is your reasoning behind that?
I find that a lot of okay, so first of all, the obvious thing is that in the church there's a man shortage.
Why people
So how
keep
come,
saying that?
how
That
come
is
you
not.
could say that?
that
and
is
then
not
when
true.
I say it, hold on. How come you could say that? But then when I say that, I just get pushback from he.
No, JD, it's a fact.
Because
What do you mean a man
Can-
shortage?
Hold on. And I want JD to listen. I believe teachable moments
JD
are
listen,
important.
right?
JD is very miserable, right? Because he would just say, men have to work. And I agree. But I am saying when I look at the church or when I look at the men that are out there, why is it women, long time if somebody tell me I had to pray for your husband, I get real upset, you know. I say, so I had to mother you and pray for you? Why?
Okay. Right,
Continue.
So JD, there's a
Continue
man
now.
shortage in the church, and they say that the ratio of women to men is 7 women to 1 man
One.
In the church?
in the church
In
on
the
a whole.
church.
Adventist, Full Gospel, Pentecostal, the black majority church, the black majority led church, right? The ratio is 7 women to 1 man. Now, as Christians, we believe in 1 man to 1 woman,
Yeah.
right? So what does that mean for 6 women?
They don't have.
They're not going to get married.
Oh.
So the obvious question is, why didn't I get married? The obvious question is because there are no men in the church. That's what the single ladies are saying. They're saying that there are no men in the church.
Correct.
And the few, JD, that are there are not marriage material. So
Bro,
not
half
only...
of the woman in the church is not married material.
I can't
We'll-
find out.
we'll-
I
Half
can't
of them in
find
the church is not married material.
Let's deal
What
with
are you
All the what
talking?
things, all the what things are, all you have, all your damn self.
Okay, right. So JD, hold on. See, so it's called Why Didn't I Get Married? Right? And so each character in the play is telling you why they're not married.
Correct.
So obviously you got the one who's saying there's no man in the church.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
You got the one that said the men in the church, but they're not good. Nisa was talking earlier, you were saying that you can't find a good man.
Not qualified.
Right? They're not qualified. But there are other reasons as well why I didn't get married. Why she didn't get married. So there is stuff like same-sex attraction.
Well, I'm not going to say it. Have any one of them who say there's lesbians?
Well, come and
Wait
see the
and
play.
see.
Come and see the play. You know, there is the whole thing of marriage, divorce, and remarriage. Some church don't remarry you if it's not because of adultery.
Right.
So if your husband is giving you licks and you decide to leave, some churches won't remarry you. So that's another reason why some people are not married. This is called Why Am I Not Married? Yeah? So we are asking, should the church as well be held accountable for the high level of single women in the church? During the pandemic, a book was written in the UK. It was called Black Christian Single. And in one of the chapters, the lady says that the church should be held accountable for the high level of women because why? We were told to be Proverbs 31 wives. Prepare ourselves, get educated, get our job, get our house, and our Boaz will come.
Right.
Correct.
I'm now 50, 55, 60. I'm husbandless. I'm childless.
Right.
I'm frustrated. And you, the church, didn't do your duty to bring men into the church, one, and to equip the men that are in the church now to be marriage material. You want us to be Proverbs 31, but you don't want, the men are not Ephesians 5.
Oh, Lord. They're not even Ephesians 1.
You understand?
New Vision 5.
So the play's asking the question.
Fellas and go like you know, Alan. You gotta
That's
be very
okay.
careful.
Remember I told you.
No, but he's doing both sides.
Remember,
though.
I'm telling you, I'm a writer, and I'm reflecting the reality
Correct.
in the church.
Yeah.
And this is what the ladies are saying. Now, the church is now on trial to find out if the church is responsible for the high level of singleness. There's a guy in America, Dr. Umar Johnson, very
I know Umar.
controversial
Yeah.
guy, right? He said the black church has a vested interest in keeping black women single. Why?
Why?
Black women earn more than the black man.
What?
They're more educated than the black man.
Alan.
So they have more time and resources for the church when they are single. If they get married, they have less time
Right.
for the church. So the church then ponders to that to keep the woman single. And so we are exposed. We are trying to see, is that really the truth? Is the church really guilty of keeping black women single for its
given
own?
no church that amount of responsibility. It's like
you
it's
have
like
a point there because
he
it's
does
the
have a
offerings. They want the offerings and they want the
The time, yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously, remember as well, the Bible says that a married person, a married woman, your duty is to your husband. But when you're single, you've got more time for the Lord. So the church play on that. Keep them single. They've got more time. And remember as well, in the church, 90% of the leadership, the pastors are male. The congregation, 90% are women. Why is that? Why isn't the church attracting more men? Why aren't men coming to our churches? You might say, oh, but men are not religious. But Nation of Islam, enough man.
Right.
Black Hebrews, enough man. But the Christian church, the black Christian church as well, we're not attracting the men or keeping the men. Remember as well, yeah, that
You have to keep them.
in Sabbath school or Sunday school, the ratio of boys to girls is not 7-1.
Yo, listen, let me tell you something. You know why? Those other denominations you call, the men are like manly, you know. Now you have man like Mike Todd and them.
excuse me, do not. What is wrong? First of all, this is the
Them
internet.
fellas and them
What is
dressing.
wrong with Mike Todd? One video you see
I ain't
and
see one.
somebody say, and you go on with that as a narrative.
I ain't see one. I
JD,
just saying
get it together.
I just saying the dress code is not
JD.
what Alan was talking about and the behavior.
JD,
Right?
You're sickening. One thing you see.
Ain't Alan?
No. Don't do Mike Todd that. Mike Todd is a creative, right? And a lot of people, they have a problem with the fact that we're bringing so much of theater into the church and
need to
saying,
take it down.
God, hold on. I'm talking to the creative aspect of Mike Todd. They say the gospel don't need to be prettied up or whatever the case is. And, I get those arguments, but I feel like to just demonize a whole man because he has creative skill is wrong.
Nah.
Two,
That pants here, I don't
because,
hear that, eh?
you see, one pants,
That pants here, I don't hear that, eh?
one pants, and you mash up the whole man, by.
Yeah. So
if
you see him now, and please algorithm on Facebook, we just talking reality and community conversations. If you see him start to wear nails because you know nail polish, you know that is them thing over there. What? How you defending that?
But Jerry,
Nisa.
JD, to be fair, yeah, I don't really trust the internet anymore, because with AI, they can do anything.
Don't give me
bro.
that. Don't give me that. They can't AI alive. Right?
They can't
Live.
AI alive?
Alive.
Live or
But
alive.
they can manipulate images, though.
For you to see exactly
I'm
what you
saying,
want to see
I
to
understand.
create the narrative that you
I
want
understand.
to
I
push.
understand. But what we talking about is not no AI thing. It's real thing.
Yeah.
So back
Judy,
to what
one
you were
pants,
saying.
you
now.
see the man
Right.
thing.
So in the play now, the church is on trial. A group of women are bringing the church to trial, claiming trauma and church hurt because they're emotionally traumatized
Yeah.
by not having a life partner, which they were almost promised.
Probably who?
Who promised them
By
that?
the
promised them that?
church.
Who? God?
The church said, equip yourself and your boys wait on the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Right.
And we
Alive?
have Ruth, Naomi.
I'm saying.
Get ready for your Boaz.
But so they're saying, but you church, you're not doing your job.
And what is the job of the church?
Because we can't go outside because you told us we cannot be unequally yoked, so we can't go outside and get a man.
Nah.
So we must stay here and wait, and we're waiting, but you're not bringing the man them to come in. So the premise is, should the church be held accountable? And then throughout the whole play, the audience becomes the jury and decide whether or not.
Oh, the audience does.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, so we just put in the
Interactive
put in
session.
the witnesses, so you can see the arguments and counter arguments of whether or not the church is responsible for the high level of single black women.
You keep saying black woman. We'll come back to that, right? Let's close off this hour with our reads because we just do the videos, all right? So thank you to Little Caesars. We're closing off this first hour, 6 minutes already into the next hour. Of course, guys, listen. Little Caesar is not only our premier sponsor for Fried Bacon Lime for over the past, 2 years or something?
Yeah, about two.
About
almost
2
three.
years. And, everything else that we do, they are ticket holders for Nisa's concert. So you could go to any Little Caesars and get Nisa's ticket. But more so, this is their new item, selling like, hot bread. It's only $105. And I tell you that Little Caesars is the most affordable pizza. This is not just because because it's sponsor anyway. This is just no cap. Just go out there, run out there, all right? And see what's up. God, yeah, so check out the stuffed crust cheddar flavored pizza. Amazing for the family and the kids. We have Little Caesars in the back there for our guests. We have the veggie and some different items. All right. So thank you, Little Caesars. Alan didn't have no pork because I want to hear what the people think. Right?
But what the problem is, be offer Alan, eh?
Thank you to, let me swing it back here. Thank you to Bold Designs. Ladies, if you're stepping out in style and fashion, Caribbean breezy style, these accessories is definitely for your occasion. Bold Designs, and this is just a few of her pieces. And next Fried Bacon Line, we're going to have another installment of different stuff that she carries. If you're interested, we'll wait for the closing of the last ad, and we're going to give you the Instagram information. So thank you to Bold Designs. Speaking of designs, this is a designer concert right here. Hey, Nisa in concert. Aurora, and it's happening May the 24th. If you ain't get your ticket yet, you know what? I thank God for all, yeah? Anybody watching this, let me tell you something. I thank God for you. But, boy, we Trinidadians like this last minute week thing, boy, for tickets, boy. Alan, you just experienced that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. This is what the tickets early does do. It helps us meet commitments that we can sponsor from the government and these kind of things. All right? It helps us meet commitments early, so we don't have to be owing nobody. I just talking real. That is how it is. All right? It's not because we just want to see money in front of we. We have commitments. We just want to see money in front of we. No. We want to pay for venue, down payment, these kind of things. So I just express it. So anyway, besides that, Nisa in concert is going to be awesome. She's with full band. We have a bunch of guests. Karen as well was saying, I don't know one or two of the people. A lot of you all don't know most of the people because this is what we're doing. We're saying, you go ahead. You can deal with this one.
Right, so God has placed us on Sky 99.5 FM Reloaded. And I feel like the podcast prepared us for that space. And I remember when I first started, I'm like, God, why are we on the radio? Like, because something started to happen with the music, and like the stages. So I felt like, okay, I'm on radio, I'm not getting the stages. And one of the things God has been teaching me is to just be patient and to believe that where He placed me, we really need to not worry and trust Him. So being on radio has given us the opportunity to meet so many artists. So many young artists, so many upcoming artists, and a lot of them are just like us. You know, you want a place to outpour your gift. Nobody wants to have a gift, prepare that gift, and have nobody to give it to. So with the platform of radio, we meet so many talented persons, and I feel like God was saying, let's give those persons a space. Yeah. So to people who are wondering, well, we don't know this person, I don't know no song, I don't know how would you know unless you know? And how would you give someone a chance unless you give them a chance as the audience, you know? So we have given some persons in this first installment, because we don't know what God is doing, a space on the show. So the names are Sophia, she is 15 or 13 years, I can mix that up. Tanique Beckles, another very young, talented, upcoming artist. Raleigh R. Just people who, you know, the music is there, they need a space. And I don't believe God put me on radio just to talk. You know, he's given us a bigger platform than we think. So of course JD is on the show, Blessed Messenger, and the of course doesn't mean that they're not valuable. It just means that, you know, we've tried to balance it off again and keep team a part of the conversation. So the people you don't know, you will get to know.
All right. So that's Aurora. Of course, right before that, this is when? May the 17th. This is next week?
Next Saturday, next Sunday,
Next
Saturday
Sunday
is almost sold out. Praise God.
Talk to us, Alan. Talk to us about this year.
But they save a seat for me now.
Yeah, Saturday's almost sold out. Probably got about 30 tickets left for Saturday. Sunday we still have a few. Okay. And like you says, the early bird, the buying early, it just gives you peace of mind, so you can now focus on the show. You know what I mean? When you have to worry about singing, are you paying the bills? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So it's why didn't I get married? It's not good for man to be alone. But what about the black woman? The black church is on trial. Alan Charles said he put in church, the whole church.
Yep.
Say all on Babylon trial, you know, he putting all on trial. Who are these people we see in here, Alan? We have Karen. She's here with us this evening.
Karen, who are your co-actors?
My co-workers. My actors are with me, Delina Roberts. We have Renee Joseph, who's actually a lawyer. Both of them, they're actually lawyers.
Both lawyers.
Both of them, they are lawyers.
Okay.
And we have Cleon Alexander, Fidel Guerrero. We have Marlene Frank. We have Natalie Holdep. Man, these characters, I'm telling you. And we also have my boy, what's his name?
Herbert,
boy. Herbie.
Susan Duncan.
And Susan
And
Douglas. Alicia
Edwards
Baker Edwards. And you know what I like about the cast is not what Alan will call I don't want the superstars, I don't want the divas. I realize that even with this cast, just as Nisa said, this is a platform as well for new people who've never been in the spotlight on Central Bank. You know, some of them, you know, for me, I've been there as one of the old cast. And now seeing the new members and how they're embracing the stage, it's quite a nice bunch. We have a nice family, everybody together. I'm just excited. Every time I message in the chat, I say, guys, I can't wait for us to hit the stage. All your breath when people laughing. That's another thing they have to remember, because it is hilarious when I tell you. That's the English term of it's real funny. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
So
where they can get the tickets?
Living Legacy in Arima.
Pharmacy, right.
Pharmacy. And we're just talking back the tickets from
Arlene.
A&A, because tickets are sold for Saturday. So A&A Pharmacy in Port of Spain, Living Legacy in Arima have Sunday tickets. But if you want Saturday, the few Saturday tickets that's left, you got to call 341-2512. That's 341-2512. We only got about 30 Saturday tickets left. The other tickets you can get from Living Legacy or A&A Pharmacy in Port of Spain.
Awesome. All right. And of course, thank you so much. This last hour was sponsored by also Praise on Water 2K25. That's a gospel boat ride. If you've never been to a gospel boat ride, this is where we heading after NISA concert. All right. This is June the 21st, down in the hole there. All right. Saturday, June the 24th. First kicks off at 4 p.m. NISA myself is going to be there. Nigella, Jazzy, Jaron, Michelle Sylvester, Blessed Messenger, Sean Daniel, Reverend Nicole Ballard saying Holder. And the boat is going to be vibes. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Again, persons who want to support our podcast, thank you so much. This is our local information. Savings account. Take a screenshot here quickly. Right? Any local bank, thank you for supporting us. And outside of the US, PayPal me/JD's Vlog. And if you're in the US, and I know we have a nice following in the US as well, so thank you. $ Cash App, JD's Vlog. And if you miss those information and you want to hit my back up, just inbox me and I will give you the information, all right? Alan Charles, the church is on trial. So what do you think the church should do? What are you on trial for?
Okay, like I said, they're on trial for the lack of men that's in the church. The women are suffering. That's a fact, right? And if the church is meant to be a hospital, that means that we've got doctors. Doctors are supposed to bring healing and resolution and solutions. So if there's a man shortage, what do we need to do? Get more men. If the men are not equipped, what we need to do? Equip the men so that the women them can have suitable life partners.
Yeah, but you're just saying it like Oprah, man.
Had an earthquake?
Yeah.
Like
so there was an earthquake. So remember when I got up?
You all felt it?
Remember
I
when
didn't feel anything.
We didn't feel it, but when we heard the thing.
That was the earthquake?
Yes.
But how you could hear it and don't feel it?
I saw the place was shaking just a while ago. I thought it was Alan's feet.
And not vertigo, eh? Not vertigo.
I heard the bomb, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
We are alive and well.
He's so
Thank God.
expensive. Proverbs 31. Where is the text that really speaks about what they want the woman to be? Where that is? Do you know where it is?
Virtuous woman.
Proverbs 31:5, right?
Yeah.
Where am I? Proverbs 31, you sure?
That is a virtuous woman? No?
Proverbs
33. 33. Proverbs 35.
Come, somebody help me. Proverbs.
Bible scholars, either 31, 33, or 35.
So why did they say the Proverbs 31 woman though?
Just type that in Google. Where in the Bible says Proverbs 31?
Then I'll go to Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 woman. They tell me no results.
Uh-oh.
What kind of devil Bible is that, right?
But I'm trying to find out because I'm listening to what Alan's saying. And I'm not sure if the play is going to solve issues, but it should provoke the thoughts.
It provokes conversation and calls the church to action. Right? Because like I said, if there's a shortage of men and the women are suffering, we need to find solutions. Right? So maybe evangelism needs to improve with specific targeting men, which would solve the problem of man shortage, which would take the pressure off the few so-called happily married men in the church.
So-called?
If you can't say amen, say
Hey, look
ouch.
at that. Why you do that?
Do that again, Alan. Do that with your hand.
Do
Do that with
do
your
that,
hands.
Timothy?
'Cause- Do it. No, do it again.
How that happen? Hey, look, you do it.
Celebration! I like it. Celebration
Sorry.
time.
We
I love
are
it. I love it. I love
Sorry,
it.
we are cheering over here. What the hell? It didn't happen. God, like it really like Alan. Like it
Alan,
like
make it
Alan.
rain. Yes, oh make it rain.
Why are you bunny earsing?
No, because again, remember we said that sometimes the church, we're fake, right? At times we're fake.
Yes.
So sometimes we give the illusion that we're happily married, but deep down we're miserable.
I agree.
And another reason
Hold
why.
on.
I agree.
Hold the phone.
What?
You said you agree real fast. I feel my belly drop.
The earthquake did
It
that.
drop. I said, Jesus.
I agree.
Jenny, how you feel deep down, boy?
Because remember, I was married before, and then the counsel was to me, you understand? More or less, they was telling me, hey, this is not a good look, you understand? Or you need to get together because it's a look and it's a look. And for a little while, we were both unhappy and we was just faking it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
And
just-
then they tell me, if I divorce, then you know you can't get to sing gospel and nobody can go book you. And I tell them, they go book me. They didn't book me.
Right.
That's it. It was a wrap. But Alan, you were saying that
So another reason as well why I'm not married as well. Not me personally, the character. I'm not married because when I look at
The
the marriage
statistics.
in the church, and I see the unhappiness. Why are you looking at me like that, Lisa? When I look at marriages in the church and I see the fakeness,
Oh my God, what is fake? What
I
do you-
don't want to be like that. When I look at the marriage in the church and the husband is looking at the single woman, I don't want any of that. When I look at the marriage and the husband is beating the wife or the wife is beating the husband, I don't want any of that. So sometimes the marriage that we have in the church is not a good example for single people. So they refrain from getting married.
Karen,
Yes, darling.
I asked you a question before. I can't remember if you answered it on air or off air. But
let me just say this real quick. Sadie, they can't send us gifts because in Caribbean we cannot monetize our page
Yeah.
on Facebook. But go ahead.
pray first. As a young black woman in the church or the conversation of the church,
Yeah.
why are you not married? I ain't talking about the player. I'm asking you a question.
Well, I'm not married because choice. I have reached a stage in my life where I know when the right one comes. And
You picky?
not picky, you know. I know
Is it
what God, you see, the scripture says
You are
this.
a rich man.
No, not neither rich. The blessing of God, it makes rich and it adds no sorrow. If I'm in a relationship with someone and they are bringing sorrow to me at this early stage and we are not married, God save me. And I am not married because he saved me.
Yeah, but
From-
okay. There's no perfect relationship. I feel
No,
like sorrow
no, there
is
is none.
part. Sorrow, pain, disappointment, and all those human fallacies are part of any relationship, even friendships.
Correct.
Can I
So-
jump in and just another part of the play that talks about the Vivicia Fox syndrome?
Yeah.
Vivica Fox?
Vivica Fox.
Vivica
Fox
What syndrome is that?
Okay,
Tell
so
him.
You know Vivica Fox, with the actress,
Yeah.
right? When she was young and she was beautiful, a lot of men wanted to marry her, but she wanted to focus on her career.
Right.
And now she reached 60, not as attractive. The men that was once desiring her no longer desires her. So sometimes I feel like in the church, some of the women, yeah, when they were young, they were choosy, they were picky, and they let good men pass them by. And now they reach a certain age now where they're looking for those men. Those men have moved on, don't want them, and so that is
Yeah,
also...
but he called that a syndrome. I'm coming back to you. You know? He called it a syndrome. When I look back over my life, right? My father used to say, "You're so talented. You're wasting your time on all this relationship thing." And I actually think I should have done it the Vivica Fox way. Based on what you're saying, I should have focused on building Janisa as opposed to catering to people who just wanted my body. And I thought,
you did like man too. You I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that.
But say it how you mean it.
like Ray.
Say it how you mean it.
always say you're marriage minded. You're marriage minded.
Hold
you're
on,
marriage minded.
JD. That comment came when we were courting. Do not use the comment at a time when you
Remember-
didn't know me. Hold on. Relax. This is my testimony.
Only women is only playing too.
This is
Only
my... Hi.
want.
Good day.
Just as men want
Right.
women, only woman want man too.
Bless the Lord at all times. His praises shall forever be in my mouth. This is my testimony.
You could
Go
just
ahead,
stick a pin in
sister,
it
go
real
ahead.
quick. Let
No.
me just address this thing.
Oh,
All your
I don't want to lose my train of thought.
Go ahead. These stars, all of a sudden, just send it here because we ain't getting no stars. Just send it right here. $5, wherever it is, send it here. Go ahead, Lisa.
Right. I actually think Daddy was correct. And I
Yeah.
should have focused on building myself
Yeah.
and then
Focus.
entertaining
Yeah.
a relationship.
Right.
But you saying a Vivica Fox syndrome.
So this is what happened as well, right? Apparently, this is what happened as well. Yeah. The women fixed themselves up,
Right.
right? They equipped themselves. And remember, from a child, the girl is being prepared to be a wife.
JD always says that.
You understand?
I always say
the
that.
boys not so much. Right? So you guys, you mature, you develop, you become responsible, whereas the men don't reach that same height as you guys.
But that is not the church fault. Daddy, mommy, and daddy fault.
Right. Again, but remember, when mommy and daddy fails, the church is meant to be mommy and daddy. Not so?
That is why I tell you, remember what I was saying last night with Blessed? That if what I choose to do and say, all you can't blame me, it's the church responsibility. Remember, it's the same thing I said?
But remember as well, that we're only asking the question. We're not really blaming the church. You know?
Right.
It's a trial.
It's
right?
a trial.
So we're putting
You're
the
putting
arguments,
the thoughts out there, the
right.
arguments out
Well,
there.
a trial is a blame, eh?
No, a
Not
trial
really a
is
trial.
you're putting two sides, and the jury gets to decide. So I don't want people to think that, oh, we're bashing the church. No, we're putting out all the arguments that the women have leveled at the church, and all the strength from the men. We're putting it out there because that's what's out there. The stuff that is in the play, I didn't make it up.
Right.
These are real
reality.
stuff. It's reality, right?
reality.
So now the church gets a chance to say, okay, man shortage. Is that our fault? Well, really, truly, in the world, there's a man shortage.
All over the world.
You know the song back in the 80s, man shortage all around the world?
No, I don't know it, but okay.
That's
Okay, right. And that's in the 80s, yeah? So there's a man shortage in the church, but there's also a man shortage in the world.
Right.
So then can the church be held accountable for man shortage in the church if society, there's a man shortage? So again, I don't want people to think that we are accusing the church. We're giving both sides of the story, and then we can decide whether or not the premise of the church being responsible, is it true or not? Understand? So don't come thinking that, because I'm not a lot so far. We've had some pushback. People think that we are bashing the church and saying the church is guilty. No, we're saying it's a trial.
Well, as you said, trial. On your poster here, it says the black church is on trial. What
Yeah.
do you mean? Whereas the white church?
Right, but remember, this is a we thing. The man shortage issue isn't so prevalent amongst the whites, or even amongst, dare I say, the East Indians. So I know in Trinidad, I've been getting pushback because I've got black rather than
church.
Caribbean.
Okay.
What kind of pushback?
Like people that don't want to come, they think that I'm creating racial tension. What about us? Why are you not including the East Asian? But this is prevalent amongst the Afro Trinidadian community. We have a higher level of man shortage, absent father, broken families,
Yeah, well, and-
divorce amongst us. So this is a we thing that we have to fix first.
No disrespect to our East Indian brothers and sisters, but that's not really only thing. We, it's
Yeah,
a kind
but-
of different by we,
But also-
where fathers missing bad from sins.
But also, what is wrong with having a segregated conversation? Nothing is wrong with it.
But remember, historically, black people, and we're not allowed to have
A voice.
a voice.
Drop that
Watch
bomb.
Watch it.
Stick a ping in it.
Watch
Karen, you were saying
Yeah.
God saved you
so,
from...
So it's like when you have developed and you have matured and you've worked yourself to a certain level, it's like based on choice. It's like you will know. Like, for instance, if I shake a gentleman's hand, sometimes I know immediately if myself and this person is going to connect. Sometimes it's like in the back of your mind, you already pick up something about this gentleman that is not going to work. Sometimes you don't want to waste time. So there are some sisters out there, and I'm speaking for some good, strong sisters, they just don't want to waste time. And they are ready and willing to be married to someone, but it's just like the men out there, they are not ready. You're not ready for us. It's like, we are waiting.
So again, is that true? JD, is that true? Are the men in the church not up to? So all that is put on trial as well, because that's one of the accusations from the woman.
Right. And okay, so
I just find the women in the church.
relax. So let me pat you on your back there. Take a drink. Take a drink, a Holy Spirit drink. When JD and I were just not courting yet, but we were together, and everybody knew we were together doing the podcast, JD started to get a lot of pressure from the audience. People were like, when,
Bad.
all of a sudden, and it was just in the atmosphere.
It was bad.
When are you all getting married?
I just call it the church clock.
Oh, my word.
And he was so angry. Like when I look back, and even then I would be like, why is he so angry? Like what is wrong? You know, so in my mind, I'm like, okay. So when he said before, you used to say you marriage minded. Before, because I went through horrific experiences, I swore off all relationships. But when I allowed this to do something, I believe God, and I have to say it like this because it wasn't me, right? I liked him enough to carry on this thing. And then I'm like, if we're carrying on this thing, what are we doing? But men have this thing where if you ask a question, you're rushing it. But as Karen said, if I'm doing a course, right? No course is going forever. Any course is going forever. You just need to know when exam coming.
Yeah.
You understand? No teacher going to stand up and teach you for 5 years on one topic. So you as a student or part of something has a right to ask, hey, what is going on here? This man was getting upset. And I can't speak to them inner demons. He had to know what was causing that in him. So when you ask him, JD, is that true? I feel like a lot of men have issues where they feel a woman trying to control them. If that is not the case, then where is that coming from?
The church, it's coming from the church.
But remember as well, JD, that the Bible is clear that it's not good for man to be alone.
Right.
Marriage is of God. And obviously the church, we promote marriage because it's not only in the church, but in the world, marriage is the highest form of commitment. Most of the most successful people in the world are married people. It's part of life. It's part of life. And so the church do promote it, but you can't be promoting it if the maths ain't mathsing. And that's where the issue comes in, and that's where the frustration comes in for the woman. You say, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? But there's no man for me to marry, and you, the church, have not empowered the men, because the church, as well as we know, we discussed this before, the church caters more for women. Would you agree with that, Nisa? On the whole, the church caters more for...
I don't know what you mean by cater.
Cater for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by
who
cater.
Stays, who goes, the ladies
Why are men not attracted to the church?
I really don't know. I have seen men have an
It's
issue.
a man thing, yes?
I have seen men have an issue with with respect. Like JD would make comments like, I don't want to be under a man like that.
Yeah.
So everywhere, all you're carrying this ego in a bag?
Under a man? What do you mean?
Everywhere, all you're carrying this ego in a bag?
But men are on the football field. The men is under a man, a captain. So there's something about the church and church culture that is not enticing to men. Right? We say sometimes we say, oh, men are emotional. Yeah. Agree with that?
They're not emotional?
Have you? Yeah, that's what women say. Men are not emotional. Have you seen when a man score a goal in football, how they hug each other and jump each other? So it's not true. It's not true that men are not emotional. It's just that the church isn't bringing it out. Or to me, the church isn't.
No, that's a home thing. That's a home thing. That's home.
What do you mean
that's home? No, that's dealing with home. That's home.
Then the church needs better educational messengers to teach the message, because context is very important.
I agree. So sorry, what do you mean by that?
But I believe it's the culture of home. You know, sometimes a father will tell a boy, we're crying for. Right, okay. It's like that. Okay. That's a home thing. And they take it into the church. But it takes a leader who sees the opportunity of the men and bringing the men to the forefront. So it's the leadership to me. Because when I go to some churches, I'm telling some sisters, all they need to go and visit so-and-so church, because the pastor, he does focus on the men. And the sisters and them saying, right, I'm excited, I want to come. Because why? The pastor is bringing the men to the forefront, and the ladies are now getting an opportunity to have a little husband.
I confused.
Okay, Rennie says the content, let me bring it up.
Hey, Rennie.
The content of church ministry is more of women and children. However, the leadership is still... Oh, this is Rennie from the play.
Yeah, Rennie from the play. Rennie. Drop a bomb.
And let me open the lines.
All right. I beg all the don't make Rennie.
Hello. The content of church ministry is more for women and children.
Right. The content,
I am confused. I don't know what all you mean.
Okay, so basically, I think what Renee is saying, as I'm saying, the leadership is male, right?
Right.
But the way we do church is female based.
How? I don't understand.
Renee,
When I
tell
go
him
to
how.
church, I don't feel female. I just
Because-
feel like me.
Because
'Cause you're female.
You're female. So you gravitate to it. It's natural to you. But when the men go, they don't feel what you're feeling. They feel, oh no, this is not for me. This is for Nisa and Karen.
Is that true?
I have a problem
Yo,
with that, no.
Is that I need one man to call you. Just one.
And or you could answer the question because I'm very confused.
724-4249. All
Renee
right.
says, church is a place where you have to be vulnerable and surrender. Our culture does not teach men to do that. What I'm missing, boy? When you go to church, right? When I go to church, there's a program, right? Whatever the program
For
is.
everybody.
This is what I'm saying, for everybody. You have the mission statement. That is not gender specific.
No.
The song service, that is not gender specific. The what you call it, the sermon, it is not gender specific.
sister.
What we want.
Let me give you probably an example.
Yes, please.
Right. In America and in the UK, white people will tell you that the UK and America is not racist.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
But as a black man, I know that it is racist. Why do they conclude that it's not racist?
Because they don't experience it.
They don't experience it, right? So this can we now apply that now to the church? You're saying that I go to church and I don't feel anything because it's catering for you and you are embodied in it.
JD Salia.
But the man them now is saying, nah, I don't want this man, so I'm not coming back.
Well, what all you want? All you want is at 10 minutes to sweat? I don't understand what they mean by
that one. I like
it
that
is
one.
not catering to the men. So we
Yeah.
really need a man to say.
Okay, let me ask a question here. How many women's program are there in church, on the radio, in Christendom? You always seen woman's retreat and women's this and girl talk and women's Wednesday. I'm saying, where are the men? Yeah, where is the men Monday? Yeah, and where's the men talk?
Okay, my response to that is
Big thumbs up.
hush your mouth now. My response to this is right.
Bang, bang.
I think Karen said it before. Society has fed men some sort of narrative where it is soft to say what you need. So if I don't know you need anything, what we have in our men's talk for? No, because they don't talk.
You cap out there. Look, somebody give you a big thumbs down, you know. You cap out there.
No, I'm asking questions. Like I cap out for asking a question. If y'all don't speak, I feel like women are doers. If we recognize we need to talk, we say, hey, let's get together and talk.
Let me get a comment in. Jacksonville says, there's no more marriage between man and woman. No church can help. We live in a society now where men have become lovers of themselves. Man want woman, woman.
Man want woman.
No, I think man want man, woman want woman. Is that
One man, woman.
Man want woman, woman want
Woman
man.
want woman. I think he means man want woman, woman want woman. I
Or
don't
you
know.
mean man want man and woman want woman.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like if society saw that men showed their real faces,
okay?
then we could create real programs for men showing their real faces.
Right.
But if all they're just putting up that all they don't need nothing,
But as the church, aren't we supposed to identify the issues and bring solutions? And isn't the church supposed to go against societal norms? So if we know that in the world, right, men have been given this wrong description of what manliness is.
Stick a pen in it, let's take a
Somebody's
call,
calling.
right? Let's take a call, sorry. Friday, can I?
Hi, good night, guys.
Hey, what's
Chef
up, man?
here.
Easy Chef One. Talk to me.
All right, good night to you guys. Now,
Good night to you.
this is just my opinion, right? I think the whole problem here is that the enemy is just trying to keep away unity from everything, because remember, when people are, what's the word? Oh my God, I just lose my train of thought. But the whole thing is that the plan is not to keep relationships going, because if you look at programming right now, from television to YouTube to this,
Right.
everything is about teaching yourself to depend on yourself.
Right.
So that is an angle, that is a main angle, starting from within the church, because also within the church, you have prosperity teaching where you think the word is for you. This is why the Bible says, many have gone in my name, doing this and doing that. But you have to also remember, you have to pray for a spirit of discernment to understand and know what you're receiving. Because again, everything is about self. So if it is a woman set standards for herself on what she wants from a man, right? And the man doesn't reach that standard, then what's next?
Right.
She will keep going on dates, and then the standards she sets, none of the men are reaching it. No, how is that problem supposed to be fixed? Who are coaching the men to actually look like what the women perceive they want?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
I feel you. I hear you.
Perfect sense. But sometimes I think women can be accused of wanting the finished product rather than a work in progress. Sometimes women are not willing to work with the potential.
Thanks, Siobhan.
No problem.
All right, bless.
Yeah, that was good.
I think Natalie Baptiste has a very good point. I don't know if you want to read that one.
Natalie says, I think that when a culture is a certain way, it is difficult to find the issue and deal with it because it's been that way for so long, but there are issues. I raised boys to men as a single mom, and when they were adjusting to adult life, I saw the struggle they went through.
Right. Because a mother cannot teach a boy to be a man. They can do their best, and I was raised by my mother alone, and she did a good job, but something is missing.
From you?
Yeah, yes.
Like what?
From
Everything.
What missing, so? No, you said something. You said something. What missing, Alan?
I don't know, but no, something is missing. Yeah, because like I said, a woman cannot teach a boy to be a man. So what you do is that you're now experimenting and you're guessing and you're gonna work it through for yourself. Whereas if the man was there, he'll be able to show you. I mean, on becoming a man, I mean, the stuff that you do, responsibility and that kind of stuff, from a man's perspective, not from a female perspective. Because if you're raised with just a female energy, yeah, then your mindset.
Call. Take a call. Jax.
Oh gosh.
Jacksonville, you there?
What's up? Good night, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the house.
Blessings. That's me.
All right.
That's me.
Jax, what going on? Talk to me.
Boy, listen. I mean, I don't really want to go too hard on this now because I ain't want no problems. But listen, I mean, there's a two-edged sword with that topic there tonight. For instance, the guy there is talking about, the church need to bring it. Trust me, I do believe church ain't doing nothing. Church ain't even making sense right about now because the churches now is more worldly than even the whole world.
Why you say that?
The church is worldly because, for instance, let me tell you something. We've been growing up even here, and I mean, this is something true that the God of yesterday is the God of today. Ain't nothing changed about it.
Right.
All right.
But now you have churches now with changing tenure. They need to do certain things to bring in the youth. You have praise dancing. You have Halloween set up. I mean, come on.
No, but not Halloween. I mean, not Halloween, but
You have this. You
but
have churches
Jackson-
into Halloween. You have churches into Halloween too. I'm telling you, yeah.
Maybe they in Jacksonville over there, but you know, America a little different, you know. But Jax,
listen, in general, let
but,
me hear
all
you.
right, but listen, seasons and culture, God doesn't change.
Right.
But the message and the vessel that we use to get people to bring them in, that obviously had to change.
God-
because
JD,
we're not still in the
JD.
1930s.
JD,
Dress
God have no
code.
compromise.
No,
God have no compromise.
I'm not talking about compromise. I'm talking about
vehicle.
I'm talking about the
but
vehicle and the
if-
packaging.
No, but JD, if we're going to change the church atmosphere to accommodate a certain set of people to get them in, then we're compromising.
No,
If we in a church, listen, if you have a pastor who even preach it, who actually preaching lukewarm gospel because you don't want to offend the masses,
Well,
that is compromising.
Yeah, well, that's different. That's different.
Yes, and that is compromising. Look, I just heard the gentleman there say just now, a woman cannot raise a man. She can raise a child to be a man, really. Yes, she can. But now you're having two women living in a house, one acting like a daddy. So the child still lost. You're having two men living in a house, one acting like a mommy. The child still lost because he confused with two men, one playing woman. The next house is two women playing man. I mean, in any case you take it, JD, this is a losing battle. And remember, it's a sad thing. It is a sad thing. You understand? I mean, I could understand people who would be still, hoping they're living in this hope that churches could still do. But I keep saying, just like you all said earlier on, churches ain't want to do nothing. All churches really want to do is keep the female them single, and I agree with that. Because a woman will give she whole mortgage to a church in belief. Yes, she will. A woman will give she whole car payment, everything to a church.
I see my sister do that. Level rent
with the belief that they're getting closer to God and they're doing the right thing. And that's where God said, no, go, come on.
But can I
let me hear you,
all right.
Lisa.
So what JD was trying to say, right? So the system of a thing, right? The established good thing, like God established marriage, right? It's a good thing.
It is. Yeah.
Us making it a bad thing doesn't mean that there aren't good ones around, right? So the church, like the church, I agree that the system of church has become, it's a lot to be desired in some instances, right? But it doesn't mean that every part of churches should be demonized, right? So like for me, I sing because of how I grew up. My musical influence is jazz, R&B, neo soul, and that type of thing, right? So I use, like my ministry is that. So if somebody from 1930 comes to tell me that what I doing is not genuine, honest, has no space for it in 2024 or 2025, I will tell them that can't be right, because I live in 2025, and God would not have given God wouldn't have given me the influence and the gift that I have to use in the now if it wouldn't be valuable now. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think that because church existed in the 1930s, the way it existed in 1930s doesn't mean it was right, because it was slower or
no,
or
but
quieter.
I understand. Part of me understand what Jacksonville's saying, because but listen. On the outside looking in, we could look strange, eh?
Changes consistent.
And I'll tell you something. There's not, look like this, and I heard this already home, where you could never have a performer. Let's suppose Nisa. Nisa, you singing a lot of nice music, gospel music. Everybody enjoyed it, you know what I mean? But here you is now, no, let me change over that. You have somebody singing that nasty vulgar music.
Right.
Vulgar music. They're singing vulgar music. And all of a sudden you hear they tell you, but they got an inspiration from God to sing a gospel. They sing the one gospel, but then they're going back singing Nanny Wine again. Something definitely wrong. There's something definitely wrong.
Yeah.
That you singing vulgarity 24/0, all of a sudden you get this strange
I know what you're saying, but here's what I would say, right? Because JD and I
talked about that this morning.
We talked about that this morning. So
and that's a ticklish thing for me.
So here's what my response to that is, right? Mr. Charles said before, we kind of like to see the whole picture before us making sense, right? What you just addressed is something that one human being cannot get into at the end of the day, especially if God is working on somebody. Because my God-fearing husband could cheat on me now, right? He good all the time. Then he does something vulgar, adultery, fornication, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But remember, he's a work in progress. Right? I'm not saying that. I'm talking about forgiveness and whatever. I'm just talking about the fact that people are on journeys.
I like that.
So the person who's singing the vulgar thing today can be inspired by God to do something good. But the process of them giving up that totally is like a cigarette smoker or
true.
So that process we can't really get into. But what humans like to see is that you say this, you say A, and tomorrow you see Z. You see the completion of a thing. But God wants us to not to judge a thing before it's time.
Yeah, true.
So that's just my humble response to that.
I actually stopped. Well, I can't even let my wife hear this because I stopped go to church here. I stopped. I actually listen now to a guy named Gino Jennings.
No.
Wait.
We quote Gino Jennings in the play.
Hold on.
I'll tell you something. Hear why I listen to Gino Jennings.
I'm listening.
I grew up in a Baptist church, and I accustomed to, how I should say, accustomed to hard gospel. Like I say, I don't like going to a church and listen to lukewarm, where you have pastors now who did all kind of course, so they know what kind of words to come and use to keep you in a goddamn bubble.
Like Batman church.
They preaching soft gospel. You have pastors, let me tell you something. Church I go to, like I used to go to with my wife, she love it. I used to feel like if I already not learning that there, because first thing I'll tell you something, I cannot be going to church and the female they dress or the skirt tighter than they go into the club. No, I can't focus. No, I am a human. You understand? So I love how Gino Jennings.
Look at your
gospel is radical. And I go say this quick and come up because I know somebody else may want to call. His gospel is radical. When a pastor don't give a sermon, trust me, you must ask yourself, did he see me do something? You shouldn't be going home so joy. Oh yes, man, that was a good sermon, because it didn't touch nothing of the wrong things that you're doing. I love radical gospel. I don't want to lukewarm, no soft pastor. I'm not into that kind of bacchanal.
If you just listen to Gino, then you can't be my friend.
But how come you like we?
Gino,
no, because
you can't like me. You can't like JD. You're not supposed to be watching this podcast.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And a number of other things. Because as far as he is concerned, I am a whore.
Yeah.
I am going to hell.
No. Big bottom short breast.
Listen, like I said earlier on, not everybody perfect. Not everything he say will be right in anybody else. I mean, come on. I mean, true. Yeah, right. I mean, he really has go a little extreme too much because he's a don't care pastor.
And listen to Jacksonville. Not because somebody is loud, it means they're right. And not because somebody is harsh.
Okay, listen.
It means that they're talking the truth.
What I think I like, and not because he's loud or he's harsh, but I say he don't speak about his interpretation. He speak Bible.
Let me say this.
He don't go into interpretation.
Jacks, let me say this before we go to Alan, right? All joke aside, 99% of the comment section who knows who your preferred person to receive the word from is
Minister of the Gospel.
Yeah, minister may not agree, but this is what I would say. If you find to receive from what he brings and he keeps you close to the Lord, I would put a stamp on it for you.
Exactly so, right.
And I could just leave it as there. But I would be very prayerful and careful that because you see, and I'm not in no position to speak against the man of God, but I have been personally attacked by things that he might see that may
because
not
look,
be biblical.
listen, I'm not going to cut you. But one thing he just say, which I don't like him say, but I mean, he said it like how you speak about marriage, where you speak about if the body that you're married before is not dead, you shouldn't be married in again. That just trouble me sometimes when he say, and I don't believe, and I don't believe much. I mean, I find he stressing it. I don't believe much.
Yeah, take the meat.
Yeah, how the old people say, take the baby and throw the bad water, that kind of thing. But I would.
Right.
Yeah, if that is where you feel like, look, this is where I could receive the word of God, but most times he's an extremist and very offensive, Alan, I want to say something for him.
So we do reference Gina Jennings in the play.
Oh, you reference?
Right, I'll tell you why.
But don't be talking bad about my Gina Jennings.
No. Jackson, hear me
out.
Gina Jennings have no problem attracting men.
Yeah, because he's a bad man. He just John like a gangster.
Right? Again, right? When the church was traditional,
and women on one side,
there were men.
Been going through that.
There were men in the church. 60s, 70s, 80s, when the church was more traditional,
right?
Men were found in the church. The ratio was not 7 to 1.
Right.
Maybe 3 to 1, maybe 2 to 1. As the church became more contemporary,
or soft,
men left
because man generally men
love order. Men love order.
Okay.
But you saying men love order don't mean it's order.
Okay.
It could be dictatorship.
Jackson, you like, all right, Jackson. That is it, Jax?
Anyhow, it was nice for you all giving me a little time to view myself. You talking bad about my Gino Jennings.
I don't know.
But listen. No, but before we go, I mean, don't matter who the pastor is, just like you said, JD.
Yeah.
We just have to use our mind and our understanding as a strainer and filter what we want and things will work for our life.
Yes.
And let the rest go.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? But I still ending. Or you leave my Gino Jennings. I go to walk with him.
Well,
thank you, Jack.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. I love on listening.
All right, cool. I am surprised. I am shocked. I did not.
As it is, Karen, me, them ladies on the flyer, all are we going to hell?
Yeah, but you know what I don't want to do, as I said? If that is where I'd rather him listen to him than
not listen to
at
him.
all in the church. And as Alan's saying, and thank God for what Jacksonville said. Because that is just it. The first references are used with the Muslim and with the black Hebrews and them fellas and them just get on. It's a kind of militant. It's militant.
But as well, look at how the woman relate to the men over there.
How? They don't say nothing.
Yeah, the one, what you name? The one who I call? The one who I call a boy. The white man who in the Yonkers, who in the Bronx in the stadium. What you call? And his dad died and he take over the church and say, I know my people. Austin. Yeah, that kind of thing. Women will more feel,
They love that.
Yeah, because it's soft. But if a man up there in an army suit and he preaching and bullet and he take a gun, bam, bam, you understand?
No, we don't.
We feel like, we want to be, it's more manly now, boy.
Okay, but that doesn't mean it's right. What are we saying? What are we saying?
It does mean it's right, but it's not balanced.
So then
There's no balance.
Your voice has no balance right now either. It's up here. It's really up
there.
there.
No balance. And then you have men like this fella who wearing these straight woman pants the other day with the short top.
All right.
That's crazy.
All right. Fashion is that was a lot.
Yeah, it's what it is. Alan, look at it. Look, we done 28 minutes. Look, we done the show done,
Woo!
The show hold done, right?
Let me just read some comments, right? So
yeah, let's get a lot of comments.
I love how this person wrote their name, Crucial, but they have it as CREW.
Hey, that real bad boy, Crucial.
Crucial says Jesus taught the truth in love. He was radical for his time, but he was not crass or cruel or crude. Many are called, but few are chosen. Don't misrepresent ill-cultured or righteous indignation. Ocean says, I like that point that Alan is making where they move with the movement of the men out of the church. I could suffice it to say the questions just breed more questions. But when it comes to solutions, this is where the world keeps doing the cycle thing. Because if nothing is implemented, we just have constant conversation.
But if we don't recognize the problem, we are not going to be able to apply solutions. And a lot of church leaders haven't even thought about it, this man shortage issue.
So so based on what Jacksonville said and you agreed to and JD thirded it, do you want someone that separates a congregation?
No. We're not saying that.
Okay, do you want somebody that is loud and harsh?
No, it's not about being loud. Go ahead, Alan.
I don't know, because that's what you're saying you respond to. That's what's
I'm
attractive.
saying maybe the leadership in the church, men are starting to be a little soft in everything.
But you all need that balance, though.
Yeah, you can look at other organizations and, like you said, take the meat and church away the bone. So what are they doing? Yeah, that's attracting men that is still in harmony with the word. All we're taking is their strategy, not necessarily their message.
Yeah.
So what are they doing?
Because I feel what you're saying is like a big babysitting thing and somebody paying $5 to watch this man for me. That's how I feel. Like, if we don't need to be babysat, why am I getting the impression that for a man to be drawn to Christ, he needs to be babysat?
Okay, sis, remember, from you were a child, you were groomed to be a woman, to be a wife, to be responsible,
to take a man.
Yeah, boys in our culture, we don't really have that because of the absence of father stuff. So we don't have that. So we are at a disadvantage. You guys don't want to recognize that, or you want to say, "Oh, the men are not equipped," or "The men is this," or "The men is that," or "The man is that."
No, not with social media and all these things. What we have on platform, you could a touch of a button, you could find out certain things. A woman could do these things.
Look at Alan's face now. Put that thing on Alan's face. Here, Alan, here's my thing. When a woman then tries to be the one to even teach. Again, now we losing our lovers and we losing our friends, because we supposed to be a lover and your friend, but now we your mom.
No, we're not looking for moms.
No, you're not, but you're turning me into that, bruv.
Come again?
You are turning me into that.
How?
And then
because somebody had to tell you, somebody have to tell you.
And then you'll be nagging.
That's my thing.
And it's how.
So then what
how you tell.
But I am very respectful.
How
the thing
you tell.
is,
and as well, you can, when you go to work and you are a manager,
right,
in your workplace, or a teacher in your workplace, you can't come home and talk to your husband like he's one of your clients or your child or your student.
What does that look like, though? What because sometimes I think that there's such a power struggle that somebody simply communicating, I don't know what your or daddy issues you have.
Okay.
That my simple communication has you labeling me.
But a lot of times it has nothing to do with daddy issues.
And
it's just because when you're out in the corporate world, you take on a male persona.
What? No,
Right?
Alan
And
Charles.
so you bring this in. A man don't want to be competing with his wife that has that male energy. When we go out there, we have enough problems going out there fighting day by day with other men. We don't want to come home and fight with a man in our home.
So if I'm working in a corporate space and I am a boss of 50 people on a floor.
When you come home,
first of all, what kind of boss am I?
when you come home as my wife, not as my boss.
Yeah, and stop saying you're tired and you don't want to have sex. That is the problem.
First of all, that's all you want to do. All you even praying.
That's the problem, righty.
I want to zone in on what Alan is saying, right?
Stop being tired.
Okay, stop being 5.
Come on, let's bring it home.
Stop
Bring it
being
home.
5. How am I being a boss? How am I? You don't want to come home to a boss, but is she being a boss, or is it your insecurities of her strengths that you are demonizing her for? How does somebody, unless it's purposefully done,
know how to separate?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
that's what I'm saying.
Unless it's purposefully
But
done.
what I'm saying, sometimes you probably don't even know where you're doing it, because you're coming home. That's how you are in the office. That's how you are, and you come back with that same spirit.
But you're talking, okay, so what you're addressing is if it's a bad spirit. Because I could be a boss, what kind of boss am I? that I'm coming home to be a bad wife.
Siobhan says, my last relationship had that issue Alan explained.
But did you hear what I just asked? I could be a boss, but what kind of human am I? Because my title of being a woman boss at work,
we have our feminine side that we will be.
Yeah, but that's what I said before. If I'm coming, if the lines are constantly blurred when people elevate, and this is where humans have to have some kind of responsibility and awareness as well. I don't want to be told that I'm trying to be a boss or a mom when I'm not even doing that. But that's how you're receiving it because you're inadequate.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it like that because...
She's saying it's real.
I'm saying it like that because that's how it's being received.
Yeah.
But that is not what's being communicated.
That's right.
So then... That's how you run out on me, boy. But you was kind of inadequate. You just throw that. Because the strength of a woman is not supposed to be the death of a man.
Indeed.
So when it becomes the death of a man, we have to look at, why are you dying? My strength is not a bullet.
But at times you use it as a bullet.
If that is what is being done, then we address that. But it cannot be generalized.
Overall.
If life has made me strong, but I am not using that strength to belittle you.
Indeed.
But if you are seeing my strength as belittling you, then the issue is not me.
Deal with that.
So, bro.
So there's a balance. There's a balance as if you're doing it genuinely and you're doing it in meekness and in love and in understanding, that's one thing. But in many instances, the spirit that you're bringing that spirit that
Spirit.
Drop a bomb.
There's the spirit again.
I spoke a lot. I did not plan to talk so much. Renee is
Me
saying
neither.
a lot as well. Let me say what Renee said.
Renee needs to give a call, but we are come to the end. She says that they need to be aware of their inner demons and triggers. Many times that is what causes them to be defensive, not what the woman is trying to communicate.
Yeah, correct.
That's why I said we walk into a lot of relationships wanting to be lovers and friends.
Yeah.
And because you weren't raised right,
Correct.
I'm being labeled as your mom.
Yo, we are closing thoughts. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we're closing thoughts. We are 7 minutes over. Let me get to the final break for the last hour. And then when we come back, we have something called, if you're new here, we have something called Closing Thoughts, where we just give all our closing thoughts and get information. All right? We'll be back after this.
The new stuffed crust cheddar flavor has a stuffed crust covered in cheese, now loaded with an irresistible cheddar flavor inside and out. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Bold Designs is a unisex accessory line. They specialize in custom designs for the people who like to stand out. As their slogan says, different is memorable. You can shop online at Bold Designs on Facebook or IG, or you can visit their physical store at 30 Cane Farm Road, Twin City. Physical and electronic gift certificates are available.
Focus Arts Promotions presents the explosive new comedy stage play by Alan Charles. Why Didn't I Get Married? It's not good for a man to be alone, but what about the black woman? Is the church guilty of keeping black women single? What is the church doing to attract more men? Is man shortage the sole reason women are not married? Coming to Central Bank Auditorium, Saturday 17th May, 7 p.m. and Sunday 18th May, 6 p.m. Tickets $225 in advance or $250 at the door. Get your online tickets at theticketsellers.com ANAPharmacy.co.uk or visit ANA Pharmacy Port of Spain, Maranatha Bookshop, San Fernando, or Living Legacy Pharmacy in Arima. For more info, call 341-2512. Why Didn't I Get Married is a no-holds-barred stage drama that's not for the easily offended.
Bespoke Productions TT and Clinical Media Group presents Aurora.
Aurora is like a dream come true. I was sitting here wondering when I could connect like this with you guys again. Aurora is a new day for you, a new day for us, and a brand new day for me. Don't give up on me. Last time we was down in South and we had a ball. San Fernando Wally Real show up. But now Wally say we need to come in town. Well, we in town. I given all a little bit of everything. Some reggae, some soca, some soul. It's your girl Nisa. Make sure, get your tickets, come on down, meet me and some of my friends.
Aurora. Nisa in concert with live band. May 24th, 2025 at Central Bank Auditorium, Port of Spain. Doors open 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. Tickets $250. Special guest artists Sapphire, Shanzi, GSG, Rhonda Joseph, Rolly R, Tinique Beckles, Darren Sandy, Blessed Messenger, Terry Lyons, and JD. Aurora's DJ JL. Tickets available at all Little Caesars outlets, King's Lounge Barbershop, O'Mara Plaza Arima, and Movie Town, Port of Spain. D-Robe Enterprises, Point Fortin.
You could push me, I could fail.
Aurora.
Share the live. Share the live. You're watching Fry Bacon Live, the #1 podcast in Trinidad.
Everything heated out here, you know. All you go on there, boy, and like it, you understand? All right, so we have test your mic for me, Karen.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Right, so we have closing thoughts. Karen, closing thoughts.
Oh, I want a man. I need a man, but I cannot find a man. So come May 17th and 18th in Central Bank or at Anisa's concert.
You're gonna be there as
I hope I'll find that man.
Oh,
God bless you.
You have your ticket there?
Yeah, man, I'm a ticket right here, man. Ready? Nisa better find him, eh?
Well, you say you want a man. I hope that you understand that one thing means that you have to prepare yourself.
Of
not
course.
how your mommy and them prepare you, because JD does always say they prepared us in a kind of wrong way. You know? So make sure that you're accessible to it.
Of course.
All
As
right.
the Father in heaven prepared.
Vibes. All right.
And them churchmen and them getting real freaky too, eh? So all the women brace all themselves, you know.
What were you talking about, JD?
I just saying
And again,
that the
these
culture
are-
of women in church, they're very, I don't want to do this, I don't want that. You understand? And
Jenny,
men
first
in the
of all-
church getting soup.
First of
the
all,
man are going through that, you know.
I am not catering
Oh, don't cater.
to
Tell
muddy
him.
politics.
You don't cater, nah. You
I'm
don't
not
cater.
catering, no problem. Heaven is my home, you know. I'm
Don't
not
cater, nah.
catering to muddy politics just to get a man. You understand?
No,
because
what
it
I'm
has been
saying
proven.
is-
It has
what
been
I'm
proven
saying is the
that even
culture
if
of
you
the
put
woman in
hold
church
on,
is very,
hold on.
you know,
it's been proven that even if you
Proverbs.
put a pole in your room, somebody will have two. It's
Oh.
been proven that if you could clap, somebody
Tell
will
them.
clap faster.
No,
so
no,
at the
no,
end of
no.
the day, if a
No.
man wants to be kept, he's going to be kept.
No,
it
no, no.
doesn't matter if
That's your
give
choice.
we
me,
cater.
give me the pole and the clapping.
No,
and
I said what I said, bruv. I said what I said. I
Yeah?
am not turning into
Karen,
somebody.
you want husband? You
Yeah.
better know how to swing on pole and clap.
Why? For somebody to swing and clap too?
Holy Ghost.
And then
Better not
Paul
to
is
swing
still
on pole.
competing?
Holy Ghost.
Oh,
You
please.
understand?
Oh,
Better know how
please.
to swing on pole.
please.
That's all I'm
Learn to
saying.
Learn to pray and keep your house together.
That's
Alan
it.
Charles, what are your closing thoughts?
It's good to talk.
Yeah, oh God, my chest
It's
hurting, boy.
good to talk. And the play is designed to create conversation. Safe space where we can talk about the issues in a loving way. I mean, we've had fun here, back and forth, different opinions. And remember I said to you, sometimes the church don't want to address these issues. And these are real issues. Yeah. And the more that we can entertain it and see the issues and give solutions, is the better our marriages are going to be, the better our families are going to be, the better our church is going to be, and the better the society is going to be. So please come out Saturday and Sunday, 17th and 18th of May. Why Didn't I Get Married? Tickets are called 341-2512 or visit ANA Pharmacy in Port of Spain, Living Legacy in Arima. it's going to be pure bacchanal.
Can we just, if persons
You could say
decide
bacchanal
on
and church in the same time.
yeah,
the
if they
same
decide on the
sentence.
day, you know what, I'll put my clothes and cream my foot and come down, they could get tickets
You
down
can
there.
risk it for Sunday. Saturday,
Oh, sure.
I don't think.
You could risk it for the Sunday.
For the Sunday, yeah. But not
And you could
Saturday.
get tickets box office on both days?
Yes, and it's $250.
$250 on the day. All right,
Good
yeah.
price, good price.
Yo, shout out to Alan. Charles, we acted in the last play.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
What was it called? Oh gosh, my mind. I too old boy.
Love Saxon.
Love Saxon Jazz.
Love Sax
Yeah.
and all that jazz. All right, and we had an awesome
Yeah.
experience. So we know firsthand how much work, rehearsal, lines. You understand? And then the excitement of the night, hearing
Yeah.
the crowd go crazy on certain lines, and just people being ministered, because it is ministry, and persons leaving there with their lives impacted and with thought-provoking information. I really believe people's lives are transformed. Nisa, closing thoughts.
I'll try to make it short. What I learned tonight is that it's the same mindset of a country and their government. We expect the government to do everything for us, right? But we also have a responsibility. We could have all the conversations we want. The government could set up everything for young people to get the jobs that they want and get the money that they say they want. But if you don't work for it, you're not going to be able to receive the benefits of the programs. I feel like conversations are very healthy once you can keep your blood pressure down and stuff, Because Lord of mercy. Because these things for me are very triggering. Remember, we live backwards. And but you live and you learn backwards. You live in the moment, but you learn backwards. And it's kind of cool. I think it's really good to think about the responsibility that we give others to have the life that we know we want to have. Yes, the church, yes, the man, yes. But you also have power in you to create the life that you want.
All right.
Which means I used to get well triggered when people say you attract what you give off. So I started to wonder, but what trouble is this? But when I look at my life, I say this ain't good. And I started to speak differently, Jada, and I on a kind of positive speech thing.
Affirmations.
And it has attracted so much positivity.
Different, next
to
level.
our lives in less than a month.
Less than a month.
So it begs me to wonder, what are the lives we really live in based on what we accept? Well, it had no good man in church, but it had no all woman, this and that, and a lot of the things may be true in terms of the generalization of humanity and the evolution of the race. But we are still responsible for the lives that we want to have. So men, have the hard conversations, man. Have them. Be different. Jump out from your crew and be an upstanding man. You have a good life. I'm telling you. Women, same thing. Jump out from the crowd at just... all manners. No, jump out from that and attract what you want. Come to the play. Stir up your senses. Have a good time. Continue to support creativity in the land and the church and all of that. If something... like Alan was saying, he getting pushed back. Because you may not understand or agree with something, it doesn't mean that you shove a brother. Sometimes we need to have hard conversations so that we understand where people are trying to come from. What is it? Is uneducation? No. Miseducation is not attractive. Yeah. That's my closing thoughts. Thank you, sir.
Right. You're welcome. And that's the applause for all of you. I forget to give all the applause. All right. So my closing thoughts are these. These are the reasons, the place why I did not get married. And somewhere in there, Alan, they're saying why women not are able to keep their husbands or keep a man. Is that right? In the play?
That song like the last play? No. Like the last play. Come back
so
home.
why I didn't get married? All right. Listen. I think that church has somehow presented themselves to be right after God. God, church, then family. You understand? So that needs to be rearranged. You understand? God first, family after, and then the church. Church has manipulated its way. No disrespect. I know we're not bashing and whatever, but it has manipulated its way into making people think, more so women, that this is more so the husband.
Yep.
You understand what I say?
Ooh, Pastor, you preaching.
You understand what I say?
Whoop, whoop, drop a bomb.
And yeah, some wife have more respect for the pastor than their husband.
That's my next line. No,
I didn't say that.
That is my next line. That's what you see. Shatarabako. Yes, yeah. That's my next line. And you know what women do? They now try to match up the pastors with the man they're trying to find in the church. And half of them pastors and them fake too.
Oh no.
So you're trying to find a man who don't exist.
Oh, Lord.
And you can't clap your butt up.
Oh, gosh. JD.
All right, let me bring it back.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying is this, right? At the end of the day, that standard that somebody, this make you think that you're supposed to reach to look for in a man, you had to take it on a little bit. Come down. You remember Trinidad Killer, that song, Come Down, Come Down.
No, sir.
Keisha, Come Down.
No,
come,
no.
You had to come down a little bit.
I know Jaira.
No, you know, these artists and them, they be prophetic, but they don't know, you know. You understand? So you have to come down a little bit. And then, you know, look around. Because where you're looking, you ain't seeing nothing. You're too high.
That's a good point.
Them just too high.
You're too high. You're too high. You understand? I'm not talking about standards, you know. I'm just talking about the altitude. You're dizzy. You have to come down a little bit.
You gotta get a little hug later for that.
Yeah. You know, I really want
You're
to.
songing like you're smart, man.
You know, I want to.
Relax
You
yourself,
know, and all in all, you know, I think that the discussion that Alan has been anointed, and it's really an anointment. It's anointed from God to have these discussions in church because they're not having it. And then if the artists try to sing about it, you're getting burnt out. The church not going to speak about it or preach about it because them have no time in that. They're looking for the offerings. Let me be real, right? No disrespect to all my pastors. There are some real ones, but some, you know, I mean, the thing getting bad, you know. So Alan's ministry is really, really apostolic and timely to deal with relationships in the church, you know. So I'm excited too. I don't have the answers. I'm coming to the play. We're trying to see if we could work it out because I know we have this Saturday. We have a thing, and then we're going to see if we could probably do something to this Sunday. We're going to really try to come through on this Sunday, but yeah. So make a turn, and then we go down and see, you know, Alan's play. Alan, congratulations again. Thank you for coming back to Trinidad and Tobago, where you normally took your play up the islands. You went to
St. Vincent, we've done St. Kitts, Antigua, Grenada, Jamaica, Barbados, Toronto.
So you have all those lined up for this one as well?
Not yet, but we are working on those. Yeah. So when we leave it, we're gonna start doing it in the UK. So Trinidad is getting it first.
Oh, okay.
Trinidad's getting it first.
If somebody say, you know, they have a little acting skill that is like the acting, do you think they could be on your play? How that goes?
They can hook me up on Facebook, Alan Giles, and we can chat. Or my agent, Karen with a K.
When you're gonna do the musical?
Ooh.
I'd love to be a part of that.
You know, Nisa go want to be in a musical.
Just putting it out there.
I'm getting there.
Nisa go be in the musical. That's real bacchanal.
I'm getting there as a musical. That one was
Oh,
really
cool.
awesome.
That gonna be real fire.
Don't leave me out. God's be alive.
I don't know if I might be able to pull a note, all them certain notes. Maybe put me as the soca man to sing out here. Right? Have a little soca man character, and I go doctor it. All right, guys. You want to say thank you so much to Alan for passing through.
Thank you for having me. It's been a fun.
Quick. Next week, Saturday. Alan, you want to say anything else before?
You didn't say thanks to Karen for passing.
No, I ain't go across yet. I ain't reach her yet. You want to say anything again, Alan, before we...
I just did you just come and just support the ministry, support the arts, support the actors. These are some of Trinidad's finest, and encourage them by coming. But like I says, take what we're doing and take it back to your church, to your homes, and let's talk about the issues and let's try to find solutions so that we can have better relationships
Yeah.
in society, in the church, in our families, because that's what it's all about.
Nice. Amen. Amen. Karen, we're going to keep you in prayer for this husband this year. This is the year of your Jubilee.
Yeah,
2025.
I believe so. And I believe he's coming.
You have any preference or what you're Indian man, a tall man?
I
or
don't have
Spanish?
a preference, just as long he's a man of God.
Well, you got to be careful. Anything?
Anything. And he knows what to do behind closed doors.
Oh, wow.
God bless you.
Okay.
We're still live on air, Karen.
Woo, that's my
You
inside
mind,
laugh.
you mind if you get a little poor man, he don't have much, he having nothing. You don't having much, you ain't care?
Yeah, we work together. We'll build.
Women do that. Well, you
Yeah.
see, Alan was saying it different these days, but I think women
does that.
Yeah.
We what? Woman what?
We just work with all your man.
With men who having nothing and they're just taking them in.
I think they're saying that at a certain age, they don't want to be working. In terms of if you're 20, 22, yeah, we can work with you. But if she's meeting a man at 45, 50, then that man should have already worked and have a look at something. I mean, for them to, you know. But we don't want to be starting over again with a man. You know what I'm saying? She has her house, her car, her land, everything, and you don't have nothing. She don't want you.
Well, they have it hard out here, boy.
Yeah,
Unless he, as she say, in the bedroom, you know, to
Of course, that's what
swing
you
a
needed to
rope.
go back to. Rope this bus, eh?
If you know to skip a rope.
Okay. And drive up.
JD boy.
You can't help it.
I had a
You
wonderful
can't
time
help
with
it.
the
You know
guy.
to skip a rope.
You see they trying to move on? You're sickening.
Yo, listen, we are.
But to be fair though, that's a topic that you guys probably should explore in on the show. That thing there, because that causes a lot of problem in
What, the
marriages.
building? The
No,
No, not the building. Behind the closed doors.
The intimacy in marriages.
Behind it.
well,
We've had a
intimacy,
couple
people sending a
messages.
lot of,
couple
of things. to that.
Actually, yeah, one of the topics we were supposed to deal with tonight was around that same.
yeah.
People just send them in, you know.
But Lady Lava is popping these days with the topic, you know,
Yeah.
I am not,
Yeah.
I'm not Bob the Builder.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a big one. And I am torn because I know what it's like for somebody to wait for me. They saw potential in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not Bob the Builder, but you are a helpmeet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to help him. That was Eve's role, to help him.
Yeah. But
And,
then
and remember, Adam had everything already. But he still needed.
But then Adam needs to watch his mouth. And if he understands that she's a helpmeet, he shouldn't call her mommy for trying to help him.
All right.
Okay. And he don't listen or no. don't get me live for
Aye,
long now.
not Bob the Builder.
All right, okay. Bless the Lord at all
I'm trying to
times.
pull it in.
All
All
right,
right,
okay.
Alan, what you know about Bob the Builder? If you put Lazy Lava to sing in your show, you sell off.
Isn't
You know?
that-
Actually, no.
Bob the Builder was a cartoon in the UK, innit?
Yeah,
No,
yes, it is. It is.
If you book Lava to run on stage, you think sell off. You know?
Actually, no. He wouldn't sell off. He would, yeah.
Yeah, we can do a special, what do you call it, a cameo role.
Yeah, I come here.
Oh, like that, yeah.
Is that
you
her song, Bob the Builder?
That is
Yeah.
her song, yeah.
Because actually, Renee is that's Renee's chorus. So
That's her what?
that's her chorus.
chorus.
Renee Joseph, our lead actress.
She's singing that song in the play?
No.
In
Behind the
yeah,
scenes. I
it's
tell you,
on
we
there.
have a
It's
good
on
time.
there. I'm not
We have a very
Bob
good
the
time.
Builder.
All come to the play, eh? All right. In Jesus' name. JD don't know how to say goodbye, no. It could work for
You
or
don't know how
against
to
me.
say it. All right.
Let's go.
Yo. All right, cool. All right, so guys, see you all. Let me see.
On
Yeah,
the,
next
on
week?
the 17th. Just tell them watch your social media pages.
Yeah, stay to the pages because you know Nisa's show is coming up. She has rehearsals
Yes, a lot
and we
happening.
have, you
I
know,
need to
other things
rest
to do. So,
things.
but we have to, keep the podcast to our commitments. Thank you for watching another episode of JD's Vlog. My name is JD.
My name is Nisa.
Wait, we guess. So when we point at you, we had to say
Say your
thing
name.
and everything, right? Thank you for watching another episode of JD's Vlog. My name is JD.
My name is Nisa.
My name is Alan.
My name is Karen with a K.
That's right. And this has been Friday and like, shoo! Yo, we out. Go get your tickets. Nisa in concert. Alan Charles next week, Saturday and Sunday. Nisa is the week after. We out. Later, guys. Hold on. There we go. Bam. Nice.
The new stuffed crust cheddar flavor has a stuffed crust covered in cheese, now loaded with an irresistible cheddar flavor inside and out. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Bespoke Productions TT and Clinical Media Group presents Aurora.
Aurora is like a dream come true. I was sitting here wondering when I could connect like this with you guys again. Aurora is a new day for you, a new day for us, and a brand new day for me. Don't give up on me. Last time we was down in South and we had a ball. San Fernando Wally Rel show up. But now Wally say we need to come in town. Well, we in town. I given all a little bit of everything. Some reggae, some soca, some soul. It's your girl Nisa. Make sure, get your tickets, come on down, meet me and some of my friends.
Aurora. Nisa in concert with live band. May 24th, 2025 at Central Bank Auditorium, Port of Spain. Doors open 5 p.m. Showtime 6 p.m. Tickets $250. Special guest artists Sapphire, Shanzi, GSG, Rhonda Joseph, Rolly R, Tinique Beckles, Darren Sandy, Blessed Messenger, Terry Lyons, and JD. Aurora's DJ JL. Tickets available at all Little Caesars outlets, King's Lounge Barbershop, O'Mara Plaza Arima, and Movie Town, Port of Spain. Europe Enterprises, Point Fortin.
You could push me, I could fail.
Aurora.